custom order.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be another 30 grand. Oh yeah, no problem.
It's only like fucking 10 layers of paint versus 3 on a normal car. That shine never ends, man.
Okay, let's see where we're at. So we got some guests in the building. What is good, y'all? This is 90s till infinity. I am Alite, A-L-I-T-E.
What up? I'm Riz H, the HHC. Why don't you get that right?
And it's
Friday night.
Friday Night Live. We've officially hit our 10th episode.
Yes.
I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's been tuning into the shorts, tuning into the lives,
Thank you.
and going back and watching the episodes. We appreciate the support. All of these smaller podcasts need support from people that pop off,
100%.
and if y'all don't support, then we can't do this.
And we support a lot of podcasts.
100%.
I mean, straight across the board. So.
Yeah, we're a part of the culture. We want to contribute to the culture in a beautiful way, and that's why this is important to us. And we got quite the album to talk about today.
We have probably one of the most influential albums in hip hop history.
I would say so.
When you think about it now, not then, but now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most influential artists of our generation, even past hip hop.
Yeah, I would
Because he's crossed so many boundaries.
Yeah, I would say every song when I visited it
Yeah.
had a quotable where I was like, God damn.
Agreed.
Holy shit, this guy can spit.
Agreed.
And I think there's gonna be a lot of talking about how great this guy is, but
Yeah.
one person I want to acknowledge before we talk about how great he is the person that enabled his greatness. And that's gonna be a shout out to Dame Dash.
Huge shout out to Dame Dash.
Because without Dame Dash, there's no Rockefeller Records. Without Dame Dash, there's no Jay-Z.
Dame orchestrated this whole thing from the get-go. Whether you want to agree with it or not, whether you're Team J or Team Dame or both, you can't deny what he did
Monumental impact
in Jay's career.
Absolutely. He essentially founded him.
Yep.
Brought him to all the right people, brought him to Clark
Correct.
Kent, got him heard.
Right.
And that created... It's weird to say his first album is his magnum opus.
Yeah.
But it kind of was a gift and a curse.
Right.
And we're talking about Jay-Z. Very first album, Reasonable Doubt.
Debut album. Next year it's going to be 30 years old, my friend.
Wow.
96 it was released.
You know what the thing is?
It doesn't feel like it.
Well, the thing is, I don't feel old.
No, I
until
don't either.
people start saying shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chronic is 30 years old.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to know. Because that's the only thing that really makes me feel old.
Right.
But 30 years.
We were in grade 12, 96, 97. We were graduating the year this album came out.
And it's weird because this album was a slow burn, especially on the West Coast.
Huge.
Right? The West Coast was sleeping on Jay-Z heavy because of Pac.
It was a slow burn on the East Coast.
You're right.
If you really think about it.
Yeah, there were no big monster hits.
You got to realize this was pre-Def Jam.
Yes.
So Jay-Z he didn't have the exposure.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to fuck with him.
This was independent.
And we'll talk about that.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
it was independent in a sense.
What
Yes,
we
it
should
was.
do is we should do the street corner. I want to kind of give this a real name because we call it Connoisseur's Corner.
Right.
But I feel like that's biting Hockey Night in Canada.
Coach's
Corner.
Corner. Yeah.
So we got to find another way to
Street
introduce
corner.
our segment.
I like street corner.
So I like the street corner
Yeah,
stats.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
the street corner stats.
I mean, that's
So-
huge in hip hop, right?
Yeah, so before we get
Yeah.
in, and I mean, applies to this album in a huge way. So before we get into the album, let's go with some street corner stats on Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
Okay, so like I said, the debut studio album from Jay-Z, so his very first album, released June 25th, 1996. So we literally had just graduated. We would have had just finished. We were enjoying the summer. On Rockefeller Records, which Ali was saying earlier, founded by Dame Dash, Kareem Biggs Burke, and Jay-Z,
Yeah.
aka Sean Carter. The three of them had 33% equal share in the label. Nobody thought it was going to be what it is and what it transformed into, but give them credit, right? All three of them had different ideas, and they all came together and created this amazing lane. They didn't wait for the majors.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause they were rich before rap.
And they dictated what the culture moved.
Right.
They dictated what was cool, what was bragging rights, what champagne was popping, what cars were popping. If you didn't have this, you were whack.
And Dame really was that guy.
he set
he
the
was
bar.
driving the car. You know what I mean?
He set the bar, and they set the bar for what Fly was.
Right.
With the minks and the suits and just everything that they did in that moment in time. Jay-Z.
They were swag before the word became popular, right?
Absolutely.
So, 1996, Gets released. It was an independent album. I mean, it got distributed by Priority Records, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, not
Because they're just distributing the album.
Yeah.
Rockefeller was an independent album. This is pre-Def Jam. Yeah, I mean, let's start. Do you remember when the album came? Like, do you have any kind of, remembrance of like, or significance of like, oh, Jay-Z, this guy named Jay-Z's album's coming out.
I hate to say it, but at that time, no.
Yeah.
At that time, it didn't touch the radar. We were still recovering from Pac's death. It was only a year post-Pac.
Right.
And this is Big had passed,
Yep.
6 months prior to.
Yep.
So I think my scope was very limited as far as what mattered in hip-hop. And Jay's album, we see it on the Source magazines. You see the dope cover with the cigar and stuff. You knew something was coming.
Right.
But it didn't break into my radar as, I have to listen to this. And it kind of stayed that way for years.
True.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. And I made an error. We actually graduated in 97. I'm going to go back. This came out in 96. So we were going into grade 12. But Jay-Z's name, the first time I heard his name was on Hit 'Em Up. Remember? Because like we said, we were we would read the Source magazines and we would see the all these different ads, but we really didn't, because the singles didn't come to where we were.
There was no connection.
We were
on the West.
We were on the West.
It's not that heavy. The East Coast didn't really matter.
No, unless you were Wu-Tang.
Yes.
We fucked with Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang was massive.
I want to say, what, Nas?
Yeah,
right?
Nas. Some like hip hop heads on the West. Mess with Gangstar and Tribe.
Yeah. But that wasn't even limited, right?
Sure, you'd have to be a head.
Yeah.
Or a DJ.
I think Nas and Wu-Tang and Biggie, obviously, were our biggest kind of East Coast influence at that time.
Yes, for sure.
So Jay-Z really didn't hit the radar.
No.
I remember I had a friend who was a big hip hop head in high school, and he had bought the Death.
You gotta shout him out just in case he ever sees this.
Paul,
I think he'd get a kick out of it.
A good friend of mine in high school who was a huge hip hop head.
It's crazy.
And he bought the single for Dead Presidents, and I bought it. And I still remember me and Reefer were listening to it. We didn't care for it. We were like, whatever, because we were so heavily into West Coast, Tupac, like that, and then that's when we started messing with Master P and all that. So we were in a different mind frame, right? So, but Arif's older brother really liked the song. He liked the music. But that was kind of the start and end of our introduction to Jay-Z. We really was like, whatever. And now, people say Dead Presidents, like it's on their top 10, top 5 songs of all time, beats of all time, lyrics of all time. Like it's
hard to argue.
Substantial and influential. But at the time, we didn't give a shit about it.
No, as we go through the album, I think people understand just how many brilliant quotables Jay-Z comes up with, how many couplets, how many brilliant phrasings that he uses that were so ahead of his time. And the crazy thing is when I decided, when we were talking about this, and I'm like, Reason Motel, when's the last time I heard that album?
In its entirety.
And I had to go back to like the mid 2010s, like when Blueprint came out. Because when Blueprint came out, we saw Jay-Z live. He did the Blueprint tour.
Yep.
One of the greatest things I've ever seen. The crowd was electric. Burned the arena down. And it was one of the best shows I've seen. Like, man, I gotta go back and really understand why people talk about this album.
Listen to the whole catalog.
The whole thing.
Right? Yeah.
I went back and listened to Reasonable Doubt, and I remember at that time thinking, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it still didn't move me.
Right.
Certain songs I was like, amazing. But the whole album cohesively didn't move me.
Is it because the other albums overshadowed it?
At that time,
because he's had so many great albums.
Dude, the Blueprint was so good, man.
The Blueprint was so good, but then even In My Lifetime Volume 1 was 100%, so good.
The Black Album was incredible.
In My Lifetime Volume 2
was another great album.
Yep. The Black Album.
The Rock La Familia, the Dynasty album.
American Gangster was even dope.
Constant.
Yeah.
Right? So it got overshadowed.
Yeah.
But now listening to the album as a whole piece, I kind of regret not giving it more attention before.
Where would you rate it in ranking of Jay's albums, if you had to rank it?
Okay, I can't give a definitive spot.
Would it be in your top 5 Jay albums?
It's definitely in the top 3.
Okay.
It's in the top 3. It skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's in my top 3 too, and you're right. I can't really place it.
Yeah.
Just because Black Album holds a special, and Blueprint, and In My Lifetime. I know In My Lifetime Volume 1 got a lot of shit for it, but honestly, that's and you know what? This is sidetracking, but Sunshine really ruined it. That one song,
without a doubt,
just made the album.
And the video was so bad.
It was so bad, boy. and he was not Bad Boy, but it was so shiny suits.
And the beat was
sample
mid.
was it like a Bad Boy
And
song.
then Babyface singing in it.
It was the colors, right? Like the green.
It was all the mix.
It was, and then the Hype Williams fish lens.
Yeah, no,
Like,
no.
It didn't fit what Rockefeller was.
No.
But anyways, Reasonable Doubt. Okay, so fun facts. So some of the notable guest appearances, Memphis Bleak. This was our first introduction, not only to Jay-Z, but to Memphis Bleak,
Memphis, yeah.
who is basically his little brother. That's the best way to describe it.
Sure.
They grew up together. He, but Memphis is, I'm going to say he's probably like 7 or 8 years younger than Jay. But Jay knew his mom. They lived in the same building in the Marcy Projects in Brooklyn.
Once we get to their song, I have another description for you.
Oh, nice.
We'll
Okay,
get
cool.
there.
So that's the first. So for you Memphis Bleak heads, this is the first time we heard him. And I like Memphis. He's cool, man. He's just got a new podcast. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes.
He's dope.
It's under the Drink Champs banner.
He's that hip hop guy that you need. Like whether you like him or not, he was
The yayo.
Yeah. That's the perfect way of doing
The
it.
storyteller.
And he's ride or die.
100%.
The guy's been so loyal to Jay. He's never talked bad about him.
Earned
He's
all the
always
bags.
right.
Just
And Jay's
to
taking
stay.
care of him. I
Yeah.
mean, let's face it. Mary J. Blige.
Mhm.
This is
Very young Mary J.
very young. This is very like Uptown
Yeah.
Records. Mary J.
Fresh out of Bad Boy Camp.
She released her solo album '92. This is '96, so she's only 4 years into the game. But this appearance really solidified her as being the queen of hip hop.
Yes.
Not just an
Yes.
R&B singer. She did it with Bad Boy, and now she did it
She
with
had her
Jay.
own lane.
And I got a great
Yeah.
story about that too.
Dope.
Jazzo. That's kind of a unique one. Jazzo was very influential in Jay-Z's early career prior to Rockefeller when he was just learning how to rap.
Yeah.
Jazzo was an established rapper prior to our time.
Double time
Late
spitter.
80s, 88, 89, Hawaiian Sophie Fame was his lead single.
Really a great spitter.
He
Like,
really
twist level,
underrated.
double time,
Really underrated.
really good.
He just never made it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but he was influential in Jay's cadence, early cadence, because like Jay, like in the beginning, he was rapping like Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Not as fast, but double time.
Double
right?
time, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So we hear Jazzo for the first time, and of course, Notorious B.I.G. And this is the album that he didn't just have him on the album; they became really good friends from creating the song that we'll talk over. So some great guest appearances. The overall theme of the album is very mafioso,
100%.
very
From
mafia, gritty lyrics, very. It's all about hustling,
Yes.
but not hustling on like the street level, right? This is kind of more of a classy way
Godfather.
of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Exactly. The album releasing it actually debuted at number 23 on the Billboard Top 200, which considering very little promotion and independent,
Yeah.
that actually is a pretty strong feat,
Pretty significant.
right?
Yeah.
I was actually
Good.
surprised about that. Yeah, and it was on the chart for 18 weeks.
Damn.
So
So it did some damage.
I mean,
I guess that's how
yeah, it's crazy. Like these numbers don't make sense to me because at that time I don't remember. Other than Dead President, I don't remember anything.
Very little noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was certified. The album was certified platinum at the end of 2006. So it actually took a while.
Damn.
But you're right.
10
what
years.
What you said earlier is exactly what happened. I think it took people a while to kind of appreciate Jay's earlier stuff, and then they went back to it, and then they started buying units.
Yeah.
Because that album should have gotten platinum
Out the gate.
out the gate.
Yeah.
So 2006, it got officially actually 1.5 million albums to date, and
Damn.
went platinum in 2006. The album was promoted with 4 singles. The first one was "Ain't No,"
With Foxy?
with Foxy, which I heard after the fact, and I liked. Can't Knock the Hustle with Mary J. Blige, Feeling It, and Dead Presidents. Now, none of the Dead Presidents didn't even chart.
That's why.
That's crazy. And the other ones were at 50, 70, and yeah, they didn't peak higher than 70. So these singles, like I said, when you think about it being charted for 18 weeks and going and number 23 on the hot top 200, that's not the top 200 hip hop. That's the top 200 of every genre.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, right?
That's really well, and I guess that's how they were able to kind of finagle a deal with Def Jam afterwards.
Because you were showing that
Because
you
there
could
was
do it
success there.
without it. It was
Yeah,
it was the no
absolutely.
limit, the cash money kind of trajectory.
I think there was enough burn from 22 twos because there was a whole bunch of videos of
Right.
him doing 22 twos all over the place.
Right.
That really sparked a lot of that power.
That's true.
And of course, if Pac calls you out in a track, you should say thank you.
Yeah. Facts. So Reasonable Doubt was named one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time by The Source in 1998. But it's funny because they only gave it 4 mics.
Yeah, there was some hate.
But I mean, we'll see if we'll talk about it and see if it actually deserves 5
Mhm,
mics. But
mhm.
anyways, Vibe magazine, some of you old heads remember that, ranked it 7th best hip hop album of all time on
Wow.
the 2002 list.
Hmm.
MTV.com ranked it number 6 on their 2005 list of top albums of all time, not hip hop albums.
Wow.
And the Rolling Stones ranked it number 67 on their top 500 greatest albums of all time.
That's
Which is pretty
significant.
impressive. That is very significant.
I
I was actually
wow.
surprised by that. Yeah, I was actually surprised by that. I was like, wow, 67 out of 500, and you're talking about every genre, and this
Every
is Rolling
artist
Stone,
of all
who's
time?
not really.
I mean, I would say Rolling Stones is better than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if they've always been pro hip hop.
No, definitely
But you're
not,
right.
definitely
They do have more solidified journalists.
Yeah,
and
I think they're
solidified
culturally
music.
informed.
Yeah,
for
you're
sure.
right. You're right about
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
So yeah, this album is it's revered big time.
It's gotten its due for sure.
In 2006, Jay performed all the songs from Reasonable Doubt for a 10-year anniversary at Radio City Music Hall, and it
That's
was
so
one of the
cool.
greatest live concerts people said.
That's so
that
fly.
yeah, and you can watch it on. I think you can watch clips on YouTube. And so, like Ali was saying earlier, the original release of the album was a limited, independent release. After when he released albums like In My Lifetime Volume 2, In My Lifetime Volume 1, Hard Knock Life, which was Volume 2, that's when the album started to get more traction, and people started to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Rockefeller Records officially re-released the album nationally in the spring of 1999. So,
Oh, wow.
so when it first got out, it was independent, and then 3 years later, when they were under the Def Jam banner,
They wanted to go and get some more money.
and they had the machine behind them,
Yeah.
they released it again,
Smart.
which was smart.
Yeah,
'cause
very
then,
smart.
You know, people revisit it, right?
Yeah.
And it was an album that still stands now, so it wasn't stale.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And yeah, a 20-year, and then finally, to close it off, a 20-year documentary, which we were just watching earlier, was released on Tidal, which is Jay's music streaming company. It was released on Tidal via video, and they basically had everybody who was involved in the making of the album, from the production to the artwork to the A&R. And it's a documentary that you can watch on YouTube, so I definitely recommend
That's pretty
anybody who's a Jay-Z fan to watch it, because it really dissects the album and how it's made. And if you're a hip-hop head, you'll find it very interesting how songs are made. Because, I mean, you're an artist, like sometimes
I love that shit.
it takes months to make a song, and then sometimes it takes like a minute.
Minutes.
Right?
Absolutely. Whatever the feeling
The
in the room
creative
is.
process is very interesting. Right?
Yeah, no, I love it. All these kind of backstage documentary kind of feeling things when you show the artist in their element, doing their writings and stuff like that. To me, that's all incredible.
So I have a quick question before we get into the album.
Mm-hmm.
So his next album, Jay's next album, was In My Lifetime Volume 1, which was now under the Def Jam banner.
Yeah.
Now he kept about 50% of the producers from Reasonable Doubt, and then his third album was In My Lifetime Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, which just
But all the big guns.
catapulted him to just another stratosphere. And on that album, he had less than 10% of the original producers.
Yeah.
So you as an artist, is that a good thing or a bad thing, or what is it, or is it something that needs to be done in regards to not keeping the original team?
I think Jay is a unique case because he is exceptional at picking beats.
Right.
Not a lot of artists are good at picking beats.
Very
And
true.
I think that's what hampered Nas in his early career, not being able to cross over, become bigger, because there was some really shitty beat selection.
It's true.
And a lot of artists go through this. A lot of artists go through what they think, oh, that sounds cool, or somebody in the camp like, oh, I like that. You know, they kind of take differing opinions.
Have you gone through that in your?
Yeah, I
record-making?
don't listen to people when I pick beats.
Right.
Right? If the beat has to move me within the first like 10 seconds, if I don't feel it within the first 10 seconds, skip. Because I think every listener wants that moment when they connect with the beat right away.
100%.
Not everybody wants to, that's a great song. It had to grow on me.
Got it.
Like artists
That
don't
makes
want
total
that,
sense.
right? And Jay's a fucking amazing beat picker.
He is.
He knows how to pick a hit almost better than anybody.
But saying that, if you release an album and it's almost flawless with production,
Yeah.
and then your next album is totally different with production, why would you switch it up?
And you shouldn't. I think there's rare exceptions that get to do this in their careers.
Yeah.
And Jay's one of them. Like, Freddie Gibbs makes albums. He picks one producer for the whole album. Did one
Right.
whole thing with Alchemist. Did one whole thing with Madlib.
Yeah.
And that suits his style because he likes to kind of keep the formula the same.
Yeah.
But I think with Jay, there's just, because he's able to create so many patterns and so many flows, I think for him it would get boring
Right.
messing with the same producers. Like, I'm sure,
I get it, yeah.
I'm sure when he was coming up here to Timbaland beat, he's like, yo, I would murder that beat.
Right.
Right? Like, he seems like that kind of guy, like, oh yeah, I fuck with that guy. That producer.
So you don't think he's just going with what's popular?
No. I think he makes what's popular. I think he creates what's popular, right?
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
So there it is. That's the kind of the synopsis behind the album.
Street corner stats.
And shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Track number 1. The intro track, not labeled as the intro, but the intro track. Can Knock the Hustle, featuring a very young Mary J. Blige. And the intro was done by a guy named Pain in the Ass. Now, you remember this guy? This is the guy who did all the Scarface. Okay.
Yes.
He had a very
Yes.
specific voice.
Yes.
And if you see the documentary backstage, you see him. He's like a short little
Puerto Rican dude?
Yeah. But he can do a great Scarface impersonation.
Yeah.
And a lot of the early J albums had a lot of intros and interludes
Yes.
of him doing like
Skits
quotes
like that.
from Scarface and Carlito's Way.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
does a really good intro, kind of like like a mafia introduction,
Yeah.
to set the tone for the
It's so
album, because
good.
it is very mafia based.
So good.
And yeah, song is produced by a guy named Nobody, who with a K, and he actually also produced Still Not a Player for Big Pun. A couple years
Weird.
later, yeah. So he had 2 really big hit songs, and then that was kind of it.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So
Random.
he was a production. He produced the album. He produced the song. Sorry. 75% of this album was produced by DJ Premier, who's one of the best. A guy named Ski, and Clark Kent, R.I.P.
Right.
DJ Clark Kent.
R.I.P.
So they basically did the majority of the album, and then a couple songs were kind of one-offs. So for me, I think the beat is just so classy. It's very sexy.
Yeah.
But it's a song you can play. I don't know. The beat is just very. It's not over the top.
Yeah.
But it sets the tone. It's very expensive.
Yes.
Like, it sounds expensive.
It feels
You know what I mean?
it feels like that.
Yeah.
It's opulent.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it just has that kind of a
Yeah.
a feel to
the
it.
only thing for me is I don't understand what they did with Mary's voice on the hook.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Whatever the filter combination that they used, it made her sound very scratchy. her
Oh,
vocals.
okay.
But
she does have a raspy voice.
this is young Mary.
This is
Right?
young Mary.
The
This
whole-
is
the whole
4
thing-
years into the.
It sounded like she was straining, and that was weird when I listened to back. Like,
That's interesting.
I'm like, is that what it sounded like when I first heard it? And I turned the volume up as loud as I could. I'm like, taking all this time.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of sounds.
I didn't even notice that,
screechy.
but because you sing, I think you're listening. Yeah,
Yeah,
which
it was
is
hitting
great.
my ears in a weird way. I'm like, I don't like that. That didn't feel right. So that part of the song now,
Did it feel forced?
I don't know if it felt. I think it felt like it was whatever they did. It was done rushed.
Like, or they should have done it a couple of times.
Yeah, like maybe they got Mary for like a short period of time.
Yeah.
We got her for that period of time, or maybe she sent the vocals from another studio,
Right.
and then came.
And it was kind of a cut and paste.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
But I mean, the bar. Shout out to the crew that we got into place. We just had my brother Amir walk in. We got
Legendary.
Alfred in the place, and we got singer Toka Shane in the place.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And,
That's indeed it.
And yeah, so I mean, obviously the bars are stupendous. He sets the scene incredibly well.
So it's not like you don't like Mary on the song. You just don't like the vocals.
Yeah, I just wish they did something better with her, with the treatment of her vocals.
But did you like her on the song?
Oh yeah,
overall?
the hook is
You
great.
think she did justice to the
The
song?
melodies are dope. Yeah, I think she fits great.
I agree.
But when Jay comes in with yo, I'm making short-term goals when the weather falls. Just put away the leather, put ice on the gold. Chili with enough bail money to free a big Willie. There's so many things he says. When people are listening, like what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because the references don't apply to everyone's daily life.
Correct.
So we're saying like, yo, what's this guy? This guy's on some pimp shit,
Right?
Like some neck shit, right?
Right.
And that's what I think makes this song so good as the first song on the album.
Agreed. And the thing is, he was talking about things that you couldn't even make up unless you had money. Like, it wasn't like other rappers where they would talk about cars or like kind of like the
They were
general,
aspirational.
Like, he was giving you like very detailed things. They're like, wait, you need to live this to understand it.
Yes.
And they were street hustlers. I mean, Jay was already rich before rapping.
The
He was,
rumors are he had $1 million in the sock drawer before
and
he popped off.
I can believe it.
I've heard Bleak tell a story once about how Jay was like, yo, he was wanting to go get food or something. Yo, Jay's like, yo, just go into the drawer and grab a 20 or whatever.
Right.
And he goes into the drawer and it's just rolled up stacks of hundreds all over the place. But this second verse, this is really cool. The way he starts the second verse. Last seen out of state where I dropped my sling. I'm deep in the sauce, kicking up top game, bouncing out the highway, switching 4 lanes, screaming through the sunroof, money anything.
And I put that on my notes, right? You know what?
Yes.
Go for it.
So because JD's been doing the podcast circuit lately,
He has.
and
yeah.
he's been all around.
Because I think he's back into the rap thing a little
Well,
bit.
he's actually
single,
doing
right?
he's doing the soundtrack for the Freaknik documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Got
he's
it.
kind of back in the fold, doing some thing, talking to shit, and I love it because he's so underrated,
He honestly, I think he doesn't get he doesn't always get the respect that he deserves.
underappreciated,
And I don't know if it's
undervalued.
because he's just so. I don't know, when you look at him, he's kind of cute. He's like a cute mascot,
little
right?
gremlin.
Yeah.
And
And so I think that takes away from it.
and you know what the great
But he's
is?
great.
So he obviously knows he's short. I'm sure he
Right.
knows he's unattractive, but who cares? He had Mariah
Janet
Carey
Jackson.
and Janet.
I didn't know.
Mariah Carey and Janet Jackson in their prime.
Wow. I knew about Janet.
He
I
had
didn't know
That's
about
the
Mariah
Way
Carey.
Love Goes, Janet with the abs.
Yeah.
He had Mariah Carey during Honey. So whatever JD is.
I didn't know. That's
Yeah, yo.
only on this podcast. That's where you
Unreal.
find out all this.
Unreal. So there's a great JD tells a great story about how he was doing a solo album.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, we need a single.
Right.
And he's like, well, I got this artist I want to work with named Jay-Z. And Jay-Z was obviously popular, but he hadn't become Hove, the god that everyone knows
Right.
now.
And the album we're talking about was Life in 1472.
Yes.
JD's first solo
First
album.
and only solo.
No, he had Instructions.
Oh,
A
yeah,
couple
which
years
is-
later. But yeah, first only real success.
Yeah, so he tells this great story about how he's going to pick up Jay-Z from the airport and he's driving in his Bentley
Right.
and he's listening to this song in this part here where he's like bouncing on the highway, switching 4 lanes, screaming through the sunroof, money and the thing, and JD's like, yo, that's the hook. So when Jay-Z gets in the car,
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, so when Jay-Z gets in the car, Jermaine Dupri goes to Jay, yo, I got the hook, we're gonna use this part.
Right.
And Jay's like, okay, whatever. And from the time that they leave the airport to get to JD's house,
Right.
JD already had a beat, played the beat. The minute the beat plays, JD's like, okay, I'm ready. Like, what? So, according to Jermaine Dupri, Jay-Z
Oh, that's
wrote
so
the
dope.
verse in his head
Yeah.
from the airport to JD's house. He had the whole
In
verse.
Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
He had the verse all memorized, ready to go by the time he got to the studio.
There's so many stories like that about Jay, right?
I love
Like,
it. I love it.
Not writing it down and just kind of, and you actually, if some of you have seen Fade to Black, which is a documentary about Jay's the Black album,
Phenomenal.
you literally like Rick Rubin is like, how does he do that? Remember that the Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
And they're just watching him, and he just goes.
It's
like,
incredible.
He hears the beat, and then 2 minutes later he's in it.
And now, before we move past that point, a lot of rappers say they do this, right? Like I've heard interviews where, like trash ass rappers, like
Yeah.
like French Montana. I've heard Rick Ross say he does.
We don't write
started
anything
to do
down,
it.
yeah.
But they're garbage,
Horrible.
right? Jay-Z's coming
Horrible.
with sophisticated couplets, double entendres,
Everything.
bars,
It's true.
and still off the head.
Yeah.
Right. That to me is what makes this track or his career even more special.
So what Alite is saying is that line became the hook for Jay's and JD's single called Money Ain't a Thing.
Which is a massive hit.
We were listening it. I mean,
We
I
were
bought
broke.
the album. Yeah, I bought the album
It's-
for that song, but I mean, all the clubs were playing it.
Oh, it was massive.
The beat was dope. The video was dope.
Oh yeah, it was so cool.
Very baller, like just
Yeah.
and they made a good combination.
They killed it.
Like
I think
JD kind of held his own.
I think
bit, right?
he had the nice bounce on the beat.
Yeah.
And Jay-Z's great on those bouncy beats.
Yeah.
And they fit each other great.
Yeah. Shout out to JD because you're right. Very
Much
underrated.
respect
I
to
mean,
JD
right from
Previous.
Crisscross Jump,
Mhm.
this guy's been giving it.
In the scene the whole time,
Right?
never irrelevant.
So influential in ATL.
R&B
Everybody
side
talks
too.
about Outkast,
Yeah.
but they forget about JD.
On the R&B side too, right?
That's true.
Usher,
Escape,
Jagged Edge,
Mariah
TLC.
Carey. I mean, he literally gave Usher his sound.
Yes. Pretty much launched his career.
Every other producer worked with Usher, but they couldn't do what he did.
Nah. They didn't
He
really
always
give him
had to
a
go
voice.
back to JD.
And Usher's most successful music is with JD.
Correct.
Right?
And you can almost say that about Mariah Carey. Some of her biggest hits
I would say so.
were JD or
Which
Bad
made it
Boy, but I think JD gave her more hits.
JD
than-
was all over
than
that.
anybody.
And penning the stuff too.
Right.
Very underappreciated
Right.
pen game.
Right. Do you know his dad is a music producer?
I heard that.
That's how he got into the whole thing.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Okay, so wow. So I got some. So for me, I thought Mary was limited but substantial.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Mary J. Blige was on the album, but she was not on the single. When they released the single,
Oh.
they actually replaced her with another, like a no-name R&B female singer. And the reason why is her label MCA, they didn't Universal MCA. They didn't want her to be on an Unknown's album, single. They didn't want her to promote it. They didn't want her to be in the video, and they didn't want her to the single. The reason the reason why they couldn't pull her from the album because it was too late. She had agreed to it. She sang on it.
Right.
So they said, okay, you can stay on the album, but you're not promoting the single. You're not going to be on the single. You're not going to be
What a
because we don't know who
waste.
Jay-Z is,
What a
and
waste.
we don't want to water down because she was off of what's the 411 at
Real
come
Love.
out.
Yeah.
The second album, something World. I forget what it was, but that it was My World. I think it was called. And she was just riding high. So Jay-Z was a newcomer. They didn't want anything to do with that. So
Whack.
she's actually not on the actual single. You can only find her version on the album.
That's crazy.
And the reason why, and now question is, why did she even do the song in the first place? She doesn't know Jay-Z. She doesn't know anybody from that team. So she dated Dame for a bit. Her and Dame actually dated for a bit.
Damn. So Dame's got a thing for R&B singers.
And this is after she broke up with Casey from Jodeci.
Right. Ooh,
So
that's
Dame
bitter.
definitely got an R&B thing going
That's a
on.
bitter breakup.
Yeah,
Casey
and
and Mary J.
so he asked her for a favor if she could do it, and she did it. And that was the only reason why
Wild.
she's on that song. She would have never been on that song, and maybe we wouldn't have seen the connection of her and Jay-Z flourish because they've done such great things together.
Yeah.
So once again, this man said earlier, Dame.
Dame. Instrumental.
People don't talk about stuff like this. Like, you look at it now and you think Jay-Z. Nah, there was a lot of background stuff. Man.
Shot in the dark, yo. We would love to have Dame Dash.
Oh my God.
Make an appearance in the. I know Dame Dash doesn't do shit for nobody, but as an up and coming podcast, fuck with Dame Dash.
In a heartbeat. So yeah, what do you rate this song?
So this song.
And we rate out of CDs, out of 5 CDs. That's
5
our
CDs.
rating system.
So jump off song. Lyrically, it's great. The beat is banging. The
Yeah.
hook's a bit of a drawback for me right now, so it's 4.
Nice. I give it a 5. I really like the song. I've always liked the song.
Mhm.
I like the hook. I like the feel of the song, and it's a very just like I said, it's grown up classy music.
Luxury
It's
music.
luxury at its finest. All right. Track number 2, titled "Politics as Usual." Now this was produced by a producer named Ski, who actually was the main producer or the executive producer of Camp Lo.
Damn.
So he did all of
Random
the
connection.
first album. If you know Camp Lo, shout out to Camp Lo,
Camp Lo's
one of the
dope.
greatest hip hop underrated groups of all time.
Yes.
Cooley High,
Not gonna second mention on the
Puccini.
podcast. We talked about them last
That's right.
time too.
That's
For
right.
those.
That's
Yeah.
right. New York rappers, but they didn't have that New York. They just brought something different to the table.
Completely different.
Sorry, we're sidetracking.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Super
and
swaggy.
he also produced a couple years later. He produced Nas's super substantial song now called John Blaze
Oh.
with Fat Joe. Remember Big
The
Pun,
big songs.
Jada Kiss.
Big for the East Coast at that
Crazy.
time.
So
Yeah.
he produced the song Politics as Usual. for me, it's got a great sample, but for me, it has a West Coast feel to it.
A little bit.
I found like a Dre Snoop kind of beat.
Little
Like
bit.
they could rap over this
Yeah.
beat. And yeah, so that's kind of it for me. I mean, there was not too much of this song. I didn't think musically anyway.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, the lyrics are on point.
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z, like the thing is, it says politics as usual,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's obviously referring to the streets when it comes to
Right.
when it comes to this song.
Right.
I like a lot of the bars that he uses in this. Let me just bring this up here. So, the production of it, the beat was kind of mid, I think. But lyrically,
I agree.
this is one of Jay's better. I don't want to say better because it's tough because he got so many fucking flows that he uses. But as far as the things that he says in this last verse, you feel my triumph never, feel my pain. I'm lying low in the letters. I'm the best that's ever came. The game changes like my mind. Just stay right, rewind, get this dough. I guess it ain't your night. So sucking me in like a vacuum. There's some elementary stuff here too.
Right.
But I feel like Jay-Z's couplet game, like this is a strong indicator of what was to come in future albums.
Right.
As far as the way that he never stuck to one cadence, never stuck to one style flow. I think he's the master of creating flows.
Agreed.
And he does it on every beat. Like you could get a
He can
Jay-Z
switch it up
track.
like no.
You could get a Jay-Z track with 3 verses, and each verse will have a different cadence.
True.
And that's something that's always been really inspiring to me as an artist to be like, man, this guy's really got endless bars.
He's got that much talent where he can just switch it up at any time.
Yeah, and I mean, again, at this time in the game, he needed better production on a song like this. So
Totally agree.
this one's a 3.5 for me.
And I found it to be a weak number 2 song.
Yeah.
Like you would want to put this song maybe at the end of the album. Like you want to start an album strong.
Yeah.
And this should have gone somewhere.
I
else,
mean,
basically.
honestly, it didn't even have to be on the album,
I agree.
but
Yeah.
it's a 3.5 just because its quality of lyrics
You
are crazy.
could call it a filler track. You could really call it a filler track.
Yes.
And it's funny. I was just watching you scroll up, and it said the producer used a stylistic sample, and
Yeah.
that's all what Snoop's first album was. Doggy Dog World and all that.
Yes.
That's all fine. So that's that West Coast feel that we think of.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know about you guys, but on I have a playlist that's just old school tracks.
Yeah.
And it's got like the
Yep.
Temptations and
Like
the
Motown
Dramatics.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
do.
yo, every other song I'm like, oh, it's another sample. Oh,
Right.
it's another sample. Oh, hip hop literally transformed that era of music and made it hip
And
hop.
stole a lot.
Stole a lot.
Isley Brothers.
Repurposed, we'll say.
Sam Cooke.
James
everybody,
Brown.
James Brown. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, shout out to the Isleys too, man. They were instrumental in hip hop.
I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. Now track number 3. This is where we bounce back up again. Titled Brooklyn's Finest, and it literally is Brooklyn's Finest because it's got Jay, born and raised Brooklyn, and the Notorious B.I.G., born and raised in Brooklyn, but from different parts of Brooklyn. Bed-Stuy and the Marcy Projects. Song was produced by DJ Clark Kent, R.I.P., who was a major hip hop figure
And a major
Early.
factor. Yeah.
and yeah, huge with Jay-Z.
Mhm.
He
And
passed
able to
away a
get stuff
couple
on the
years
radio.
ago.
Like if you
Yeah,
were dope,
yeah.
he could get your music on the radio.
That's true.
He was that plug in that time.
And if you've ever seen him in interviews and stuff, he's just a very humble, nice
Very
guy.
low-key,
Like he's
yeah.
just one of the few people in hip hop
Mhm.
who's just a nice guy. Didn't really want the fame.
yeah, it's like
He
a
was
Wendy
just-
Day type that
Yeah.
just likes to guide artists.
Right, and
Go
and nobody
blow
could
up.
talk bad about it in
Yeah.
hip hop. Everybody who messed with him was always just positive.
Yeah.
So definitely
Big
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
him. And it also says production by Dame Dash. I'm not sure what Dame did on this song, but he's on the production credits. So, anyways, so this song initially was supposed to be a solo track.
Oh, I've actually heard that. Yeah.
And then Big heard it through the grapevine and said he wanted to be on it. Once again, pain in the ass, the guy who did the intro on one. He does a Carlito's Way dialogue
Yes.
before the song started, which was great because he sounds exactly like
Great
Al Pacino,
movie.
right?
Great movie.
And yeah, it's a great. It's
you big time.
Yeah.
Look at me.
That's
You're
right.
gonna die.
He does a great Al Pacino. It's a great back and forth with him and B.I.G.
Mhm.
with Big. I think they just really flow off each other.
Oh, man.
And it's funny because they were actually gonna they had actually formed a group.
Yeah.
Him, Biggie, and Lil Kim,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there was one more person, and they were gonna be called the Commission,
So cool.
and they
So
were gonna
cool,
release
man.
an album, and that would have been. Crazy.
I mean, just based off of this chemistry, Unbelievable.
So yeah, your thoughts on the song?
Hey yo, peep the style and the way the cops sweat us. The number one question is, can the feds get us? I got vendettas and dice games against as-betters and M's who pump wheels and drive Jetta. Take that with ya. My goodness!
And drive Jettas.
What a way to start the track.
Yeah.
And the big comes in, Bucks pizza, after fights and then scuffles. Like,
that's a pretty good Biggie impression.
I love it.
Yeah, pretty good.
But like wordplay in this, like I don't know why Big wants to shoot your daughter in the calf muscle, but I mean
he wanted to do a lot of weird like kill kids and put them under the bridge. Like that was his kind of
pregnant women.
Yeah, that was his kind of weird thing.
He had some shock rap in him for sure.
100%.
Honestly though, personally, I never liked this beat.
You know what? I'll have to agree with you. The beat is very. It's a little too happy for the
weird,
song, right?
It's like one sample they loop over and over again, and it's not even a great sample.
It doesn't fit the title.
Yeah.
And like Brooklyn's Finest, you think you've got a little tougher kind of a beat.
Godfather theme music in the background.
Yeah, and this was kind of like more of a happy kind of.
And then Big has a great verse with like, who shot ya? Mob ties like Sinatra. Peruvians tried to do me in. I ain't paid them yet. Trying to push 700, they made them yet. Rolex and bracelets, this frostbit rings too. Ends round the way. Call me igloo stick. Who? Big was on some shit, but you know what really pissed me off about this song? You're probably gonna know. Really made me mad because I remember back around this time, everyone's like, oh yeah, Pac started the beef. Biggie never said anything about him until in this song, where I think it's closer to the end.
I heard about that. I think I know what you're talking about.
Let's see, bro. Like so, sleeves up there, arms. Yeah. If Faith have twins, she'd probably have two Pacs. Get it? Two Pacs.
And he literally says it like that so you don't miss it.
Deliberately. But prior to that, Jay drops one of my favorite lines that he's done. He used this line again when he got China white hair on and please like short sleeves up bare arms. That's so slick.
That's so advanced.
It's so slick. But he used it again in
where did he use that?
In that nice.
Oh.
Yeah, short sleeves up bare arms. The setup is different,
shit.
but he used that bar again. And then after they diss Pac, then Jay comes back in. Time to separate the pros from the cons, the platinum from the bonds, the buttersauce shit from the leather on the fawns. A 51 diamond from my I-class Don, a Sean Don sipper from a rose. Huh? Bro, I didn't know what he's talking about. Like, back then as a kid, I had no idea what these
Sean
references
Don's
meant.
very expensive champagne, but we didn't know what it was back in the day.
The only reference that made sense was leather on the fawns. Brown leather
and that was still detailed. Unless your parents watch Happy Days, you wouldn't know what the fuck.
But the fact that people think that this is not a shot at Pac, kind of separate the pros from the cons, come on.
And this was done after Hit 'Em Up.
Yes.
So
there's a little bit of retaliation.
So what he's going after the fact where Pac says I fucked you with Faith. So this is his kind of like little jab.
Yeah. He definitely got that jab back.
So who, in your opinion, lyrically was the better rapper? Because you have two goats.
Big or Jay?
Yeah. Because I didn't analyze that, so I can't say. I mean, I thought they were both good, but you can only choose one. And
so
you're the lyrical guy.
I gotta go with the sophistication. Jay-Z's sophistication is beyond almost anybody in the game.
Right.
Which is unfair to Big because he only got 2 albums deep.
We didn't see.
He didn't get to grow
we didn't
and
see what he could have been.
Like Pac's run was short,
right?
But it was prolific because album after album after album after album after movie after movie, it was just nonstop.
Right.
Big dropped the album, you didn't see him, he vanished.
Yeah.
Comes back with another album and vanished.
True.
So Big didn't get a chance to develop. I think Big potentially could have been one of the greatest storytelling rappers in the history of the game.
Right.
Like the way he crafted the scene that you were listening to. Big's gonna be a fun album to talk about.
Yeah,
but the way he kind of read these worlds for you to look at.
Right.
And just in his first album, in Ready to Die, the things that he did in that album, just phenomenal. He's got iconic first liners. Almost on every track, there's an iconic opening line.
And his flow is just so perfect.
Voice is amazing.
Yeah.
Like he has it all.
Yeah.
I would say in this song, bar for bar, Big outdid him.
Wow.
Yeah. Big outdid him because the cadence is just crazy.
That's amazing. I'm actually surprised you said that. Like Alite's a big fan, but he's not the biggest big. Like
I like Jay more than Big.
right, and I'm a huge big fan. I like Jay more than Big, but I'm a huge big fan too. And so I thought you would say Jay, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like Big does more stuff on this. Not to say Jay's a slouch on this. Jay murders on this too.
Yeah.
But Big is just, my goodness, some of the stuff he says, and he introduces Frank White to the world.
That's right.
On the song, he's like, keep your hands high, shit gets steeper. Here comes the Grim Reaper, Frank White. Need the keys to your innkeeper. Chill, homie. The bitch in the show is homie. You're holding more drugs in the pharmacy. You ain't harming me. So pardon me. Pass the safe before I blaze the place. And here's 6 shots just in case. Man, Big is a savage.
I mean, we don't hear that nowadays, do we?
It's rare. It's rare to have the
It's so good.
Like, I think obviously what the Clips did on their last album was incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
But this kind of shit talk is starting to become a thing of the past.
100%.
But shout out to all the MCs over the
real
age of
MCs.
40
Yeah.
that are carrying hip hop right
And
now.
still doing it.
So this song would have easily been a 5, but because of the production alone, it gets a 4.
Oh, okay. I gave it a 3.5. So we're close. And yeah, the beat for me was, and it's one of those songs where you wanna like it.
Yes.
Like no,
Because the
sorry,
song is so
you wanna
good.
like the beat,
Yeah.
but I just can't. It's just too.
shit.
It's
to
too
draws.
happy.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit.
Nah. All right, now track number 4, which we were talking about earlier. One of the most prolific songs in
I'm a
hip
playing
hop
laptop.
history. Titled "Dead Presidents 2." So the original version was not on the album, which is weird. It was on the single, but not on the album. That's why they titled it "Dead Presidents 2," and I never understood that. And there's no explanation on why they did that.
That's interesting.
So there's no reason on why the original Dead Presidents, which was released as a single, never made it to the album. But they made the same song with the same beat, but different lyrics, called Dead Presidents 2. So Dead Presidents, the original song, you can only find on a single. You can't find it on the album, which is weird.
Yeah, it is
Like,
weird.
once again, there's no rhyme or reason. Nobody has I couldn't find anything on why that was done. It's the same song, so it has nothing to do with the beat or sampling or clearance. It's the same song.
All the same.
Yeah.
But it's called Dead Presidents 2 anyways.
It's called Dead Presidents 2. If you want the original Dead Presidents, you gotta. I think they released it on a deluxe version later on. But yeah, I mean, you can buy it as a single. But yeah, that is so odd to me. But anyways, Dead Presidents, one of the. If you're a hip hop fan, it's one of the most iconic hip hop beats
Without a doubt.
and songs of all time.
Without a
I would have to agree. At the time, I didn't like we were talking. You were talking about earlier when we were first introduced to the song. I don't think we gave a shit about it. But obviously, years later, you really listen to it like, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Dead Presidents means, it's kind of a slang term for money.
Yep.
Dead presidents are on the American dollar bills.
Been a movie about it.
It's a very big thing, and there was a movie about it.
Yeah.
Great movie. Anyway, so it samples Nas's "The World Is Yours," and that was, a huge song on Nas's debut album. So this is kind of the first link of Nas and Jay-Z that you hear, because Nas let him have the sample, and then made fun of it after the fact on Ether. Song was produced by Ski. I think this the production and the rapping, you can't get closer to a perfect song, right?
100%.
In my opinion, anyway.
This is a masterpiece in hip hop production
Well said.
and music making. The sample is incredible. I'm up for presidents to represent me, and they flip it in the background. I think we'll do a little hip hop trivia.
Go for it.
This sample, obviously everyone knows what the sample is. Everyone knows what it represents. Jay-Z has an incredible line where he goes, "You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song." What song, what album is that from? We're gonna put this on our Instagram story so you can see who really is a hip hop fan. And if you're a hip hop fan, you should know. It's pretty obvious. I think.
It's pretty obvious.
If you're a hip hop fan,
If
you
you're a
should
hip
know
hop
this.
fan, and because this feud was so big,
My
it was
God.
probably the second biggest hip hop beef battle since Pac and Biggie, right?
Yeah, and it was different because Jay and Nas were considered the East Coast's greatest rappers.
Facts.
So when it happened, it was like, yo, we got the two best rappers going at each other, right? That was what made it a little bit more unique. And it was like, yo, what's Nas gonna say? What's Jay gonna? There was like actual anticipation.
I mean, radio stations got involved. I mean, people had to pick sides because at one time everybody, because this was East Coast versus East Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough. That's like when Dre went against Easy.
Very
like,
tough.
who do you go for?
Yes. Great.
Pick a side.
Great example.
And then on top of that, I mean, so much to say about that. I mean, I don't know where to begin, but I think, yeah, like Alite said, if you know hip hop and you know the beefs, you have to know. You have to know that trivia question. You should know it. If you don't, you should be embarrassed of yourself.
Learn something.
Learn something. And on top of that, the great thing about their beef was Jay-Z and us. One thing I gotta say is they kept it on wax.
100%.
They never got really violent.
Yeah,
right?
there were no skirmishes.
No, the Easy and Dre, they got the music sets. People were beefing. Tupac and Biggie, we all know what happened there.
Chaos.
But with these guys, they kept it on wax, which I kind of appreciate. Because that's what we want. We don't want violence, right?
And
some people love it, but we don't. If you're a hip hop fan, you don't want your
the Benzinos of the world love it. But like one thing I underestimated, which I don't know why I did, but Jay's opening lines for songs are amazing.
Really
like this one is amazing. Who wanna bet us that we don't touch letters, stack cheddars forever, live treacherous, all the etceteras. To the death of us, me and my confidants, we shine. You feel the ambiance, your ends just rhyme. But an ounce dough accumulates like snow. We don't just shine, we illuminate the whole show. Feel me? Like
I mean, that's incredible.
Masterful.
And
Masterful
about,
bars.
like back then, I wouldn't talk talking about lettuce, but now I understand it's money. Like it's greed. But at that time, it's too much for me.
Nah. And
I'd be like, why do you talk about lettuce? Like that's what you know what I mean?
Well, and the thing is, like,
he's so advanced.
And the thing is, the cool stuff about this song, he really sets the stage with like where he talks about the 3 shots, close range, never touch me, divine intervention. There was a rumor that he got shot up, and, and all the bullets missed him, and that's one of the reasons why I left the game. They can't stop from drinking my time, batata, da Nevada, haha, papa, word life. I dabbled in crazy weight without rap. I was crazy straight. Partner, I'm still spending money from 88. You know how many times this line's been used again?
So prolific.
And see, these are the kind of quotables when you think about Jay-Z and his catalog. I hate to say, people are probably gonna forget how good this shit is.
And the scary part is he's not lying. He probably was spending money from 88 because, like I said, he was rich before rap.
Yeah. He is the true definition of the hustler turned rapper.
100%.
A lot of rappers talk about being the hustler turned rapper, but it's a difference if you're selling nickel and dime bags. I mean, the clips talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
It's a difference if you're already a millionaire.
No, he's pushing weight.
Real weight.
And sipping Mai Tais with Tai Tai, who is he's said it so many times over, his best friend.
Tai Tai went to jail for him, didn't he?
No, that was Emery.
The
guy who started Paper Planes.
Right.
Shout out to Paper Planes. Emery went to jail for almost 10 years. Took a case.
Damn.
Didn't rat on him at all.
Came out a millionaire.
He gave him everything.
Yeah, took care of him.
And shout out to Tai Tai because Tai Tai was very influential too in getting Jay out there. Jay said it, like getting him in battles and stuff. I believed in him when he didn't really give a shit about rap. So, I mean, what do you say? Perfect.
So there's another set of bars in this that are just, so be it the Soviet, the unified steady flow. You already know, you light, I'm heavy roll, heavy dough. Mike machete your flow. Your paper falls slow like confetti, mine's a steady grow. Perico, pay $580 for blow. Better believe I have $1160 to show. My dough flip like Taekwon. Jay-Z the icon. Baby, you like Dom? It's just masterful. Masterful bar spitting. This is what you would consider hip-hop storytelling. Like
at its finest, right?
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Where there's so many references I still don't get. I don't know what it means to pay $580 for blow. What are you talking about? You're not talking about a key?
No, because that's 17.5.
Yeah, then $1160 to show, so you're doubling it. But what did you buy to begin with? I'm so confused.
It's true.
But it's a 5. It's without a doubt, the song is a 5.
It's a 5 for me.
The beat's a banger.
And if it's not, then you do not know it.
Crazy.
If you rate this song any less, lower than a 5, listen to a different genre.
I bet you if you asked Amir what he rated the song, he'd be like, it's a 3.
What song?
Jay-Z's Dead Presidents.
But in all fairness, it's not his genre. It's not his time frame.
True that.
No. Right? So.
Or his genre.
Right. He's a universal guy.
Yes.
He's universal.
His palette is verified when it comes to music.
It's all over. Track number 5, Feeling It. Oh my lord. if I love a
Interesting.
Jay-Z song, this is a song that I love.
Oh.
The beat
is dope.
The beat
Beat is very
is
good.
so like you're on vacation,
Yeah.
literally sipping pina coladas, listening to this. It's
Non-alcoholic.
It's so the beat is amazing.
Beat is really good.
Produced by once again produced by Ski. So fun fact:
Mhm.
this beat, guess who it belonged to originally? We
This-
talked about him earlier.
This feels like. Oh, is that Bleak?
Camp Low.
That kind of makes sense.
So we said the producer Ski was the executive producer of Camp Low.
Huh.
This song was already done. Camp Low had already
Didn't expect
laid
that.
the track down, but their album was still was being worked on.
Right.
So Jay heard the beat and he wanted it and he bought it.
I could see Camplo murdering
That's-
this.
right?
It's a feel good,
a very like a
breezy,
chill. That's their flow.
completely their flow. That's
So yeah,
interesting.
so they gave it up. They took the check and he bought it. He loved the beat that much that he wanted it that bad. I love the beat. For me, just musically, it's so dope.
Yeah.
It's dope piano.
Mhm.
The chorus featuring a R&B singer named Mecca. She was really good. She killed it. Got a more of a mature kind of an R&B voice,
Yeah.
right? Song, like, once again, feels very expensive, very like, I don't know, just for me, it's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs of not only of the album, but it's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs of all time.
And
For me,
And even though, I mean, this is obviously meant to be more of like something that's considered radio friendly.
yeah, you
compared
could,
to
you
most
could
of the
definitely say
album.
that. And it was one of the singles.
The hook is great. I'm not the biggest fan of the girl's voice. The voice kind of mid.
Right.
But when Jay comes in, I keep it realer than most. I know you're feeling it. Crystals on ice. I like the toast. I keep on spilling it. Bone crushes. I keep real close. I got the skill for this. On my back, the flies clothes looking ill as shit. Even Jay-Z's mid to average bars are other rappers peak bars.
like top notch.
You could tell Jay's just he didn't just kind of kicking back, probably a cigar in his mouth, just talking shit.
And that's because he's going with the beat too.
Yes.
Because the beat is so
It pulls you back.
right.
Minimal complexity. He's just vibing, having
Right,
fun.
right.
And he sounds spectacular.
But he's still giving you enough to make sure you know it's still him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Enjoyed it thoroughly. It's just the voice and the hook that is a little bit of a downer for me.
Fair enough.
So this one's a 4 for me.
I think I gave it a 5, but let me double check here. I gave it a 5. I just love that beat so much and the flow. There was a quote about Jay, someone said about Jay, where they said, they asked Jay, like, they were talking about, I think it was Dead President, they're like, why don't you rap like this on every song? Right? Like, you gotta rap like this on every song. And you know what he said? He goes, no. He goes, you can't give it to them all at once. You gotta spoon feed them. You gotta spoon feed them. You gotta give them a little bit at a time, a
That's
little
some
bit at a
Jay-Z
You
shit.
can't give them all.
That's
And I
some
found that
Jay-Z
really
shit.
interesting, right?
I mean, that's Jay.
Right?
The guy's just brilliant. Yeah.
And it's true
In
because
the interviews, he's great.
because that's such a drug dealer mentality
Oh,
where you
big time.
can't give them the whole.
You
the
run
whole-
out of customers.
No, because they're gonna overdose,
That's
right?
it. They're gone.
And you can overdose on information.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
if I give you a little bit, you're gonna want more. You're gonna want the next album and the next, right? It's so slick, man. Even when he's talking, it's slick.
Hustler mentality.
And
Well, I mean,
that's what separates Jay from a lot of people.
he wanted to be in that movie. I'm trying to make a movie, Iceberg Slim.
Right.
Movie, and he wanted to play Iceberg Slim.
And he talked a lot about
It
Iceberg
just
Slim back
suits
in-
him perfectly.
I think that'd be great.
When I think of what Iceberg
Oh.
Slim looks like, I picture Jay-Z.
Yeah.
With this, cigar in the
Yeah.
mouth, the suit, 3-piece suit,
Taller
and all
guys.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
Frame,
lanky
yeah,
dude,
lanky,
just kind of
yeah.
blend into the
Oh,
background.
you would do great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, okay, so what did you?
I gave it a 4.
You gave it a 4. I gave it a 5. Okay, so track number 6. We were talking about this earlier, called "The Evils," and it's if you look at the way it's spelled D, and then apostrophe evils, but when you put it all together, it's devils.
Yeah.
So there's a double entendre there, right? It's got a Snoop sample,
Which is really cool.
From "Murder Was the Case."
Yeah.
Um,
Which I didn't realize on the first listen. I don't know how I missed so many of these subtleties on the first. I mean, I think I was putting on blinders because of the Pac hate. I didn't really give it the due that it deserved.
This song, you mean?
This whole album.
Oh, 100%.
But this song especially.
You weren't alone. You definitely weren't alone.
Because I don't ever remember thinking, oh, a Snoop sample on Jay's. I don't ever remember thinking, putting that together. So.
No, it's true. It's a very subtle.
Yeah.
But if you know Murder Was the Case, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this song was produced by DJ Premier, who, shout out to DJ Premier, still in the game, still doing it. Like early 90s, like from Gangstar, R.I.P. Guru, to
R.I.P. Guru.
Probably every influential rapper initially from the East Coast, he's laced a track for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's normally some of their best music.
100%.
Yeah, and everything he touches,
100%.
You know he's got the formula. You know you're gonna get the hip hop sample mixed in with the scratches before the bass drop. Like, you know, that's just how it's gonna go.
And probably the best to scratch.
Without a doubt. The best scratch DJ on a hip hop song.
Facts.
I would say Jam Master Jay is pretty damn close.
He was.
But DJ Premier just sets the bar so high.
I think the difference is where Jam Master Jay he would do it on shows. Mm-hmm. Primo would do it on beats.
And
he would incorporate the scratching in beats.
And
like
he would
take Dirty for Christina Aguilera with scratching. I mean, this is the hip hop guy.
And he can
make anybody a hit.
And he would take recognizable samples and chop them up.
That's right.
Whereas Jam Master Jay would just use a scratch record and just scratch on the record. Right. Premier gave you a hook.
100%.
Off of the samples that he scratched.
100%.
And no one's been able to master that.
No.
Without it being, I mean, because technically when you think hip hop and you think hip hop production, DJ Premier has to be at the top of mind. And when you think of DJ Premier production, you think of a specific sound. And a lot of producers have tried to do that, scratching the hook and the sample, and you just can't.
Sounds horrible.
It's cheap copies.
If he's not in your top 5 production for hip hop, you don't know.
Get out.
So anyways, DJ Premier produced it. Beats incredible. For me it sounds like it like I was envisioning the ending of a movie. You know, like the ending of an epic movie. Yeah. Like that's the music.
Lyrically, it feels like that.
I usually don't do the lyrics. Alite does, but I had to pull this one out, where he says, "I used to pray to God now. No, I used to pray to God. Now I pray to God."
Yes.
And I just found that because I'm a John Gotti fan, and I just found that
it's a great line.
That's so hip hop where that's the transformation, right? Because you wanna, and he's not saying pray to Gotti in that sense. What he's saying is we want to live that mafioso lifestyle, and that's the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's brilliant line. Again, another line that's been copied by other artists throughout time.
100%.
I think Jay-Z's. If you go back and do quotables, I'd probably say Jay's probably had the most lines jacked from other artists.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. And another line that is monstrous on this, which is this song is like a warning shot to Snakes in the Crew.
Right.
The closest friends when we first started, but we grew apart as the money grew and soon grew black-hearted. Thinking back when we first learned to use rubbers, he never learned, so in turn I'm kidnapping his baby's mother. My hand around the collar, feeding her cheese. She said the taste of dollars was shitty, so I fed her 50s. Like this is like the precursor to Super Ugly. Like Jay-Z's being dark on it.
Right.
And it's brilliant. I love the song, love the beat. It's an easy 5 for me.
I gave it. What did I give it? I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because as good as the beat is, it's a little slow for me.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just a little slow, but still, I mean, prolific song. When you give a song a 4 on this album, it's still like
great.
It's a 10 for any other artist,
without a doubt.
Yeah. Track number 7. 22 twos. And that's literally what he does. He says the word 22 times in the song, which is incredible because it's wordplay at its finest. It's produced once again by Ski. Super Mafia feel, great wordplay. Like I said, the way he uses two. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I like the beat. I like the lyrics more than the beat, but still a solid. That's a solid 3.5.
So the interesting thing for me is the intro that's on there, the woman talking,
right.
Maria Davis, when she kind of sets up the track. This is based off of a live show performance that Jay did at the Tunnel before this song was popping. So there's this video of Jay at the Tunnel doing this song, and everybody in the crowd already knows the words, but this is before the album drops.
Oh shit!
It's kind of like Nas when he did that what is it called? Something in the park.
Oh,
With the
yeah.
barbecue at the park. Something like that.
Live at the barbecue. Something like
Something
that.
like
Yeah.
Nas has got that track. Everyone
Yes,
knows it.
yes,
So
yeah,
this is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But the song and the way he uses twos. So it starts out with too much West Coast dick licking, too many ends on a mission, doing your best Jay-Z rendition, too many rough motherfuckers that got my suspicions that you're just a fish in a pool of sharks. And listen, too many bitches want to be ladies, so if you a hoe, I'ma call you a hoe. Too many bitches are shady. Too many ladies give these ends too many chances. Too many brothers want to be lovers and don't know what romance is. So he uses TOO 22 different times.
Yeah.
And obviously it's not the most complex rhyme pattern in the world, but the idea that he did this and didn't just make some kind of cheesy rotation of bars.
No.
It's a song.
And he had the nerve to title the song that. He was that cocky where he said, I'm just going to title it this.
22 tunes.
But he could back it up because he did it in a way where you were like, whoa.
And you know, it's still one of those songs that's still quotable today as far as what its impact is in hip hop. I think it's very similar to, I think it was Black Alicious that rapped the alphabet rap. With
Oh,
the,
yeah,
every
right.
single letter at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that really stands out as one of their most skillful pen game tracks.
Right.
And you know the hook, they take Tribe Called Quest. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes. So shout out to Tribe for that. But this was a lot of fun for me, and based off of the live performance of this, I give it a 4.
And if you don't know what the title is, it was an iconic hip hop club in New York back in the days, where you would only make it if you played at
So many great
and
stories.
that's not just East Coast rappers, like even from the West Coast,
Yeah.
that they would say you wouldn't be respected until you hit the title.
Rough place, from what I hear. If you were
there's
artist,
stories for days.
it's a rough place.
Yeah. And Funkmaster Flex, that was his club. What did you get? What did I give you 3.5?
Give it a 4.
You gave it a 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So track number 8, Can I Live? So this is produced by a young individual named DJ Irv, who we later see transform into Irv Gotti, R.I.P.
From Murder Inc. Another R.I.P.
Extremely influential.
Light up if you smoke.
Extremely influential in Jay's career. Jay said it time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Irv was huge in getting him into Def Jam.
Yep.
And like I said, he produced.
And getting him on radio too.
Yeah.
Irv's a hustler.
Irv did a lot of stuff. I know there's a lot of people who are on the fence about Irv, and I get it. But honestly, as a hip hop guy, Irv Gotti was. They don't build guys like that.
He was
anymore.
instrumental for that era of hip hop.
The shit that he did and the shit talk that he did, and he could back. He never ratted to the feds. He never ratted.
Went to jail.
And he got out.
Ride or die.
You know, like
Made sure Ja Rule popped off. Ashanti, instrumental in DMX's rise.
there would be DMX said this time and time again. There would be no DMX without Irv Gotti, because Leo Cohen at Def Jam, who was the head at the time, they listened to a couple of DMX tracks and they said, "Who's this guy?" They didn't want him. They didn't understand the dog thing. They were making fun of him. He actually walked out. Irv walked out of the meeting because they were all laughing at him. And then I think they released a single, "Get At Me Dog," and then they were all on his nuts after it.
Ear for talent, that guy.
Right. So anyway, so the sample is a Motown sample, but this was the sample that Snoop used on G's Up Hoes Down, which was initially on the Doggy Style album, and then I think like 2 months later they had to pull all the albums from the shelves because Death Row didn't clear the sample, and they had to re-release Doggy Style without G's Up Hoes Down. So if you had the original version, a copy, it's worth a lot of money.
Damn.
Yeah. Death Row had to take it off. I still remember
That's
that.
why he's the HHC.
I remember that from that time, not just recently. But anyways, produced by Irv Gotti, great sample, great beat. I had to take a line from it again. Another one. This is one of those albums where you just the lyrics really hit you.
So many.
So one of the lyrics is Jay goes, "It gets tedious. I keep one eye open like CBS." So if you don't know what that means, CBS is a major network in U.S. cable, and their logo, I don't know if it is still now. Is it?
Yeah.
It is an eye. It's basically an eye, and it's got the word CBS in the middle.
Yes.
It used to. I don't know if they took the word
It's all
out.
the same.
And this is what he's talking
One
about.
eye open like
So continue, please.
So, one thing I really like about this track is that the shit talk in the beginning is Jay-Z. we don't really hear him talk.
Mm.
So in fact, he starts it out, we invite you to something epic, when we hustle out of a sense of hopelessness or of desperation, through that desperation we become addicted, sort of like the fiends we accustomed to serving. It's really, really well thought out, the presentation of the song. In the beginning, hearing him talk, so we offer you what we offer our lives, right? What do you bring to the table? And it's a great jump off because the opening verse, one of the best on the album.
Yeah.
While I'm watching every end, watching me closely. My shade is butter, but I read they wanna toast me. I give my head both of them where they're supposed to be. Hoes will get you sidetracked to then get clapped from close feet. That's sick.
That's sick.
It's so subtle. The bar is so subtle. Hoes will get you sidetracked, then clapped from close feet. It's brilliant.
It's wordplay at a very different level.
It's so sophisticated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of double time on this, right?
Mhm.
In a very different kind of way. Because the beat is so slow.
Yeah.
The beat is so slow.
I was gonna say, this is one of those tracks where he could not help it.
Right.
That flow was just eating at
Right.
him. And you had to bring in those little pieces of double time just to kind of keep the momentum
Right.
rolling.
And keep you from kind of like, not nodding off, but because the beat is so chill,
Yeah.
you don't want to forget.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite beats on the album.
Oh, nice.
Amazing beat.
Nice. What did you give it?
Oh, it's a 5.
I give it a 3.5.
Oh, wow.
I like the beat. But it's like I said, I heard it before with Snoop.
Right.
So it was basically the same.
So I like the horns that they added.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like a celebration.
Yeah.
It
That's
feels
true.
like I'm at a restaurant and the biggest drug dealer in the city is having his birthday party at the restaurant.
Right.
And he's sitting way in the corner and
That's a
everyone
nice visual.
and everyone's just
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone's just watching.
Yeah.
Like you can't get close.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? You just
Yeah.
like, oh, who's that in the corner? That's what this song feels like. It's like this is and it honestly it's because of the opening sequence. Where he's like, through that desperation, we become addicted, sort of like the fiends we accustomed to serving, but we feel we have nothing to lose, so we offer you, we offer our lives, right? So it feels like an invitation.
It does. Yeah,
And
it
it's
does.
also-
You're right.
I think this is also where he started to really get comfortable with the chia.
Yeah. Because you saw a lot of that on his next album, In My Lifetime Volume. He did a lot of that.
A lot of that. That was like primary ad lib.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be this impressive on your first album, that's pretty amazing, right?
Well,
was there anybody better in wordplay than in their debut hip hop album than him? Probably Biggie. I'm not better than him, but on the same level,
On the
I would
same
say
level.
Biggie and Snoop's first. I mean, Snoop was pretty.
Snoop's wordplay was crazy, but Snoop's album was way more musical.
That's true.
Right?
That's
like,
true.
I think 50 Cent was pretty
Oh,
close.
I didn't even think about that.
Because
Yeah.
that Get Rich or Die Trying, dude, that's a
Forget it.
I count that as 50's first
Forget
album.
it.
Whatever
Forget
happened before is
Forget
whatever.
it.
But
And his wordplay was
really
crazy.
fucking good.
Maybe Nas Illmatic. I mean, come on,
That's a legendary album.
right?
But people are not gonna like some of my takes on that album.
No, but
We'll
I
get
get
to
it.
that
I
one
get it.
day.
Yeah, we gotta do that. Okay, so
So this is a 5 for me. You give
nice. I gave it a 3.5.
it. Wow.
Just because I've heard the beat,
Yeah.
and so it as far as the music is concerned, it was nothing new.
Right.
But yeah, the wordplay is great. Okay, track number 8. So track number 9. Ain't No, featuring Foxy Brown.
A very, 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 very young.
A 16-year-old Foxy Brown.
16-year-old.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. She didn't even release her first album yet. She released it a year later.
And
which
there was
was
rumors
Run
that
Down.
Jay was on that.
They were there's rumors that they were dating. Yeah. There's heavy rumors that they were dating.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Jay-Z started dating Beyonce before she was 20. So we know Jay-Z likes him young. I mean,
you said it.
I mean, let's keep it real.
You're being very controversial
Let's keep it-
right now.
Hey man, Jay one of my favorite of all time, but I gotta call it like I see it, man.
But you don't know for sure. You weren't there.
I mean, what's that Beyonce song that she did with Lil Wayne? Soldier?
Soldier, yeah.
She sang that verse about Jay-Z. Every word of it was for Jay-Z. 100%.
You think so? Eh?
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But you still love Jay, right?
Dude, Jay's shit. This shit. Top 5 dead or alive.
Yeah.
Always.
So Foxy, so the sample's great. It's kind of like a party song, I would say, right?
Pretty the closest
Like a
thing
chill
to a party
party
song.
song,
is,
yeah. So this song didn't blow up, although it was one of the 4 releases from the album.
Mhm.
It didn't blow up from the album. It actually was featured a year later on the Nutty Professor soundtrack. And that's where it
Oh.
took off because then now it's on Def Jam.
Right.
So the reason why they got signed
Interesting.
to Def Jam, why Rockefeller got the deal with Def Jam, is because of this song. Because the executives heard it, they wanted it on
That's a
the
banger.
soundtrack, and when they heard it on the soundtrack, they said, "We got to sign this guy," and that's how they got the deal.
Crazy.
So that's really strange. So they wouldn't have gotten the Def Jam deal without the song. This song sparked something in an executive at Def Jam at the time, and they said, "We have to."
I
have
mean,
this
you
guy."
made the right decision, but I think this is the worst song on the album.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the song that I would sign him on.
No.
But at the same time, it was the popular song, and that's all they care
Fair,
about.
fair.
They don't care about lyrics.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want what's popular.
I thought the beat was whack.
I mean,
It's produced by Jazz
I
O,
like
right?
it. Oh, good question. I didn't. Yes, Big Jazz.
Which
yes,
is a weird one.
Which is, I didn't mind I think it holds up, but yeah, yeah. So I give it a 4 out of 5. I like the whole everything about the song.
I think Foxy is amazing on the song.
Foxy-
She talks some shit on this,
Uh,
especially when she's talking about so when you flip that coke, remember the days you was dead broke? Oh man, she's talking about how she's holding her man down while he's doing all this.
yeah.
Foxy kills it.
Foxy, for a 16-year-old rapper, I don't think I've seen someone that impressive since probably Remy Ma.
Had a great voice.
Because she was quite young when she started with Terror Squad. I think she was like 15, 16.
And Foxy's voice is so gangster.
She really is. And she's better than most, I'm not trying to do the sexist thing, but she's better than most male rappers at that time.
For
she
sure.
laid it down.
And dude, she dropped a couple of classic
She did.
albums.
Il Na Na is the classic, and the second one, China Dolls.
Really, really good
I thought
album.
it was a really good album.
Yeah. So Foxy murders this on this for me. I think the
100%.
beat is hell weak. I think Jay's just playing around on this. There's nothing really memorable from Jay on this. I know people love the song.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm one of those. I don't know. I like it. What did you give? I give it a 4 out of 5.
I give it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Track number 10. This might be my favorite song of the album. Friend or Foe, produced by, once again, DJ Premier. Dame Dash does probably a 30 to 45 second interlude where he's talking. So he's the hater in this. So he's a Jay-Z hater.
That's my favorite part.
And he's talking about who's this Jay-Z guy, we gotta get him, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that's
Who does
good.
he think he is? And even in the video, if you haven't seen the video for Friend or Foe, you gotta watch the video. It's so great. It follows the song to the T. The beat for me is perfection. And the song is a first person point of view song, if that makes sense. And you could probably elaborate on what that is.
It's very
But
sophisticated.
the way the song is structured is just impressive.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think this is some of Jay-Z's best work when it comes to like this style of rap.
Oh.
And it is from a narrative point of view, so he's kind of like walking you through the song as it's happening.
Correct.
Which is great. The storytelling is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what the crazy thing is for me? It's so like personally, if you were to see Jay-Z on the streets, he is a not an intimidating person. There's nothing about Jay-Z that I see that's intimidating. Doesn't look strong. Doesn't look like he could fight. He doesn't have muscles.
I see what you're saying.
There's
And
none
you're
of
right.
those
Yeah, in that
staple
sense,
things
yeah,
that
yeah.
are intimidating as
Yeah,
man to man.
yeah, you're right.
But the way that he storytells and the way that he creates narratives around his legend,
Right.
he seems like he's a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
And there's very few people that create that moment in their music, and you can never really separate that from them again. They just become that
Wow.
mythical creature, right?
Right.
And I think Jay's held that aura. Even
He
now
really
he's on the
has.
aura.
He really has.
He comes out in his Beyonce concerts, does like a 7-minute set,
True.
and the crowd loses their mind every single time.
And this is the 50-plus old rapper we're talking about.
And he's still cool as fuck.
Oh, 100%.
He still dresses right. All the details
It's true.
are still intact, right? And I think that's really
He follows the times, but he does it in his own way.
and for the most part, he's kind of like led what's trendy,
It's true.
right?
So
Whatever
true.
is the epitome of success is what Jay-Z references,
Right.
And all the other rappers fall in line. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
He made all that shit cool.
They
So-
follow his blueprint.
And the thing is, Pac did a lot of this too, right? Pac, when you rap about Alizé,
He was super influenced by Versace
and Cristal
and all
and
that stuff.
Yeah, Pac introduced a lot of things to
He
people
did.
that it's something about the aura that they build around them, and I think this song exemplifies that aura of Jay-Z
100%.
in such a magnificent way.
I mean, the way the song starts off, friend of force, friend of foe, state your name. I mean, it's so just
Yeah.
direct.
yeah. I think Jay and Primo are an amazing combination.
100%.
I wish they did a whole album.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I don't know why that never happened.
That would be amazing.
They do great music together. They've done pretty much, I think on almost every J album,
Yeah.
Primo's touched something.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the song basically is Jay. He's a drug dealer, and an opposing drug dealer comes to his city and tries to sell on his block, and he just has a nice conversation with him, saying, "Hey, listen, you can't do this. Go back to where you came from." But he does it in a very nice way, but it's still menacing, right?
It's
menacing in a very nice way.
And it's a conversation, and not all of it rhymes, but not all of it has to.
No, it doesn't have to. Not in this song.
So when it's like, you in a prison though, and I like it, but fuck with the big dogs, yo, I gotta bite ya. Look, it's out of my hands, and you get your money around here, it's not in the plans. Don't hop your ass out of that van, head back to Kansas. I'm sending ends back up in campuses.
And when he says Kansas in the song, he goes Kansas. Like he says it so he can rhyme, right?
Chances slitter than that chicken Calvin Klein pants is. Let me guess, they said there was money around here.
Yeah.
And the rest is me stopping you from getting it.
Correct.
Correct.
The way he stops, it is, and then he starts again.
Yeah.
Like it's very. You can't do that in rap
Yeah,
songs, right?
I think his musicality is severely underestimated.
100%.
I think he understands music theory in ways that most MCs don't, and has really learned how to be an MC that can make great songs.
Right.
Because he's an MC's MC. Right? Like when people think of greatest MCs of all time and greatest rappers of all time,
True.
Those lists are normally really different.
100%.
But I would say Jay's gonna be on both lists.
You can add a third one there and say he's a great artist. Because you can be a great artist, but a shitty songwriter.
Yes.
Or a shitty performer,
There's a lot of those.
right?
Yeah.
And especially nowadays.
Yeah.
That's all you see.
And Jay-Z's got all of those things.
He's got everything.
Have you ever seen Jay live outside of the Hard Knock Life tour?
Yeah, well, we saw him at the Blueprint concert. We went together.
Right. And then
that was the second that I didn't see him after that.
And then I got to see him again when he came with Ye.
Oh, the Watch the Throne.
The Watch the Throne tour.
Oh, yeah.
And for those quick story about Jay and his live performances. The very first time we got to see Jay-Z was the Hard Knock Life tour.
Correct.
And it was Jay-Z, Method Man, Redman, DMX.
Yeah. Little Kid, I think. No,
it was just them. It was actually a really slim roster.
Yeah. Eve.
Was
Eve on it?
No, Eve wasn't on it. No. It was a really slim roster.
Memphis Bleak was there.
Memphis Bleak was there. Yeah. And Jay's performance was really mid because Hard Knock Life had just came out, and all the Vancouver fans.
Yeah.
We didn't really have a scene then. The only reason they wanted to see Jay-Z was for Hard Knock Life.
That's right.
Really, everybody came to see DMX because X's first album was unbelievable.
He was the guy.
Unbelievable.
He was the guy.
So Jay was kind of like, I'm a headliner, but I'm kind of like the supporting headliner.
Right.
At least in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the
it's
States,
true.
I'm sure in the States it was different.
Yeah.
But in
No, but I don't think so. I think you're right. DMX. I mean, let's not forget that he released 2 #1 albums in the same year.
Same year.
Like the first album, it's Dark and Hell is Hot. It charted at #1 like early 1998, like in the beginning. And then his second one, Flesh Off of the Flesh Flow, #1 again. Who can release 2 #1 albums in the same year? Like nobody can.
And
do
the
that.
party song is "Y'all Gonna Make Me Lose My Mind." That's the party song. That's the single.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Or Rough Riders Anthem.
Right? It's fight music.
Yeah.
But X has got that
Right.
thing. So Jay,
you're not wrong. He
Yeah.
was the not even the co-headliner. He was underneath DMX.
Dude,
at
I'll
that
never
time.
forget the growl and the reaction of the crowd that day. When DMX
I
did
remember
that growl,
Yeah.
and the whole
I
room
remember
went
that.
fucking nuts.
It
Before
was just
he
a
said-
different energy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Jay said, I mean, I loved it. I thought Jay said in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Jay really started to feel not appreciated in the set. He was calling out to the fans to spit back lyrics, and Vancouver just didn't know the shit.
You really remember? See,
I remember it vividly.
You say your
because
memory's not good, but you remember. I don't even remember.
this
all that.
moment I remember vividly because I was like, yo. Because the thing that stood out for me was Juvenile's Ha
Yeah.
was a monster track.
Correct.
Jay-Z jumped on it and did a remix.
He did a remix.
And he was going to do it in Vancouver. He started playing the beat for it and tried to get the crowd hype, and nobody got it. So he told the DJ, yo, fuck, let's go back to the set.
Right.
And he just did a set. Because the Vancouver crowd just didn't understand what they were going to see.
It's true.
And didn't understand Jay-Z as an artist, and he's kind of like these guys.
And I don't even think they really fucked with Cash Money at the time.
No.
So that the whole combination was just bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing at all. And it's crazy because going from that
Yeah.
to the Hard Knock Life, not the Hard Knock Life, the Blueprint tour,
Right.
when he came back as this completely.
Well, you saw
different-
him before that, right? At the Black. You
At
said,
the Black Album,
right.
When he came with the Black Album, it was amazing because there was a live band,
Right.
but they weren't visible. So it was just Jay on the stage, and there was this curtain behind him,
Right.
and the live band is behind the curtain.
Got it.
So it was just Jay the whole time, and the energy in the room. I don't think I've ever seen a show with that kind of like energy that you could hold in your hands. It was magnetic.
That would have been amazing.
One of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
And that was basically his farewell tour.
It was.
So we thought he was going to retire.
It was supposed to be it.
And then 2 years later, he came back.
With Watch the
Yeah,
Throne.
yeah.
So that story to me is really impactful because it just goes to show that artists like Jay at one point didn't nobody really fuck with him like that.
Yeah.
Right? They were kind of like, give me the hits, give me Hard Knock Life, let me bounce, right? So to go from that to now being
The
artist that
ultimate supreme.
he can tour whenever he wants and sell out everywhere he goes.
Is it safe to say that he's the biggest hip hop artist of all time?
I think that is an absolutely reasonable thing to say. Yeah,
Because I mean, who else is in that? Who else is in that conversation? You have Tupac.
I would say Pac, yeah.
Some people can say Biggie because he's just influential.
Yeah, yeah.
You could say Eminem.
Yeah, I think
Right?
Em's got that.
You could say maybe at one time Snoop.
At one time, Snoop.
I don't know about now.
I would lean more towards Cube, but I don't think Cube gets that same.
Yeah, Kendrick, Drake, these guys, J. Cole, they're great, but they're not. They haven't established. I don't think they have.
They're on the way. They're on the way.
They're on their way.
Yeah,
they're on
some-
their way.
a couple of them
They're
are
on their way. But I think if you look at it, as far as not just like album wise, but longevity wise, and reinventing himself,
Yeah.
I think you can't. Jay would be the guy, right?
He's got the best career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of people might have their greatest of all time, but Jay-Z's got that LeBron thing, right? He's got the longevity. He's got all the numbers. He's got all the stats. He's had the best career by far.
I agree. He's
Out of-
been
out
the
of all
most
the artists.
consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. So Friendoful, what do you give it? I gave it a 5 out of 5.
It's fun.
Yeah.
One of the
It's
best
a solid
storytelling
5.
tracks.
If I could give it a 6, I would.
Yeah, it's a banger of a song.
It's great. Track number 11, Coming of Age, produced by Clark Kent, featuring Memphis Bleak, which is interesting because Bleak's first album was titled Coming of Age.
Yes.
So I think he probably used it because this was the song that he was
It
featured
was
on.
supposed to be the
I
big
don't know that for a
coming out
fact,
party.
but put 2 and 2 together. So this is the first time we hear Memphis Bleak rap. He openly admitted that he didn't write the rap. He does write his raps, but Jay wrote this rap. I found the song cool. It was chill. The beat was chill. It was nothing substantial. Bleak, in this song anyways, didn't. I mean, I bought Bleak's first album. I liked it, but I mean, just in this, it didn't.
Because you're a hip hop head. That's why you bought his album.
Appreciate that.
You're a
And
head.
it had some good songs on it.
Yeah, he
remember
had
it
a
had that
couple.
one song produced by Swiss Beats. Man, Bleak
Yes.
is that was kind of hard.
It's a good song.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a good
good.
song.
Anyways, I give you 3.5 out of 5.
Memphis Bleak, you'll love this.
Yeah.
Is the Rob Schneider of hip hop. He is.
When we put this out, we're gonna have to put. He's gonna have to put effects because that's mind blown.
Adam
And it's-
Sandler's his Jay-Z.
Come on. Well,
Yes.
I don't think you can say it any better than that. Because he is the motherfucking Rob Schneider
Yes.
of
He
JC's
is.
career.
He is.
Anytime he does anything, Memphis Bleak has to pop in somewhere. Right?
Somewhere.
That's so true, man.
And this song
well
it
said.
just sounds. It feels like a glazing session. It feels like Jay-Z's
Yeah, it does.
writing.
It
Wrote the
does.
song for Memphis Bleak to just say, "I know you idolize me.
Yeah.
Now show me on the song."
Right.
And that's kind of what it felt like the whole time.
I mean, he didn't drop the ball. He just didn't do much with it.
Sure. He could. I mean, he could obviously rap.
He can rap. Oh, no question
I'm not
about it.
discounting
Yeah.
Bleak,
But he's not Beanie Siegel.
He could always spit. He's got a good flow. He's got a good voice.
Right.
He's
He's better than your average rapper.
without a doubt, and better than a lot of these new idiots that are rapping for
Facts.
sure. But this song just feels like a bit of a session for a narcissist. Tell me how great I am.
It's true.
Tell me how great.
So
I am.
true.
Tell me how great I am.
Yeah, yeah. And Jay has that personality. We all know that. So I mean, it makes sense.
they got a cool back and forth at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Which is crazy, which honestly speaks to how fucking gifted of a writer Jay-Z is.
Thanks.
The fact that he wrote a song with a back and forth for
Praising-
somebody else.
praising himself, but for someone else to rap. That's like that's like winning an award, writing a speech for yourself, and then giving it to someone else to read it. Like, how absurd is that?
Hey.
but great at the same time.
Hey, honestly,
Like I can see Amr do that. Like Amr would do something like
isn't it win a Pulitzer?
yeah.
Right
He's
speech?
he's too good to
And he
write
gets
his
shamed,
own
and he gets
speech,
shamed to
but then he would get shamed.
Yeah.
Because although the speech is
Bunch of
great and he
assholes.
wrote it,
Yeah.
he's too good to read it.
I can't. I already wrote it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get somebody else to read it. Yeah. And Shane's like his writer dad, be like, okay, I'll
Sure.
read it. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give you on camera.
So self-praise can go a long way, kids.
So yeah, I mean, it's a glazing sesh. I've never liked the song.
Yeah.
I know people
Yeah,
always talk
for me,
about.
yeah.
People always give me this infamous lore. Oh, Jane Rivers collab track
From his
together.
lore. Wow.
You know, it's got that thing.
I don't think you're gonna ever hear that again on this podcast.
Yeah. So
Wow,
so
I love it.
to me, it's a real mid.
Mhm.
It never really hit.
I agree.
I hate doing it, but I gotta give it a 2.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a 3 out of 5, and that was just because I think a lot of it is because Clark Kent produced the beat in it.
Right.
I love Clark Kent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I gave it. I think I gave some sympathy points there. Okay, track number 12, titled "Cashmere Thoughts,"
Mhm.
which once again is just aligns on what we were saying. The whole album's kind of sexy, classy. Cashmere is a very expensive fabric.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But you know what? Produced again by Clark Kent. But this one, for me, was the weakest album of the song. Weakest song on the album, I should say. The beat was very lackluster, and I don't know. I just didn't like it. It shouldn't have been on the album. That's my opinion. That's all I have to say about it. I give it a 2.5 out of 5, and that's being nice.
That's being very nice. I 100% agree. If they cut this album to 10 songs, it's without a doubt almost a perfect album. But these fluff
Agreed.
tracks, and I mean, again, it's not like Jake's not spitting. The bars are dope. Like he raps on all these really well.
Yeah.
It just didn't need to be there.
Nah.
Yeah. So this is the 3 for me, just because there's some really cool bars. He does that Grey Poupon thing on this, which is cool. Talk about Grey Poupon.
Yeah, Grey Poupon, a very famous French Dijon mustard.
Yeah.
That was very famous and just being tagged as luxury.
It was kind of viral
Wayne's
before
World,
viral.
remember Wayne's World
Yeah.
did and
It was the first kind of viral thing.
yeah,
right?
the commercial would always like have a Rolls Royce pull up with a butler. Like the whole thing was very flashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this song is it doesn't have to be there, but
Yeah. So what do you give it?
I gave it a 3.
You gave it okay, so you're a little nicer than me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're down to the last 2 tracks. Track 13, Bring It On.
Yeah.
Bring It On, featuring Big Jazz and Sauce Money. So this is the first time we are introduced to Sauce Money.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sauce Money. If you don't know who he is, he's probably one of the most prolific ghostwriters
Yep.
in hip hop. He wrote the tribute song to Big, I'll Be Missing You. He
Right.
wrote majority of that with Jadakiss.
Yeah.
He's written so many songs. I don't. If I had a list, like it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff for Diddy.
Yeah.
He
He
made
did a lot of
Diddy
stuff for Rockefeller.
for Rockefeller. I
Yeah.
mean, this guy is. And he released a solo album a couple years later, but it just didn't. It didn't do great. But anyways,
it's like a songwriter's curse.
yeah,
for some of these guys.
he's revered. And if you know hip hop from that generation, you know Sauce Money.
Yeah, you definitely.
So this song for me, the production is very heavy East Coast.
Yes.
Very like. You don't even have to be a rap fan to know this. The production is from the East. It's
This
from New
song
York.
is K-Slay's dream.
Oh, well said. R.I.P. K-Slay.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And well
K-Slay, one
said.
of the
It's
greats.
very K-Slay.
That's what it is.
Before K-Slay.
Yeah, really hardcore East Coast,
Like, I
grimy.
mean, like putting it, shoving it down your throat
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
East Coast.
And I mean, you couldn't have a better roster of spitters,
facts.
right? Like you get
I mean-
3 incredible rappers on the beat.
And
It's
lyricists,
very
right?
competitive. It's a very competitive song.
Produced by DJ Premier. Beat was good. I don't know. On paper, it looks great,
Yeah.
but it didn't flow the way I thought it would. I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I
It
don't
wasn't as strong as I thought it would.
I don't think it's a song. I think it's like who can spit the best,
Mm.
which is great.
It's almost like a cipher.
Yeah, which is great too. But then you kind of take away the effect
Yeah.
because Premier produces it.
Right.
And the beat's kind of just mid.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I would think that if you have 3 great spitters like this,
Yes.
you would make you can still be super competitive and still make a really good song.
For sure.
And I think that they kind of missed that here. I
So-
think maybe Eagles kind of pushed
Maybe.
the song
It
around.
almost felt like everybody was trying to one up each other,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you give it?
Give it a 3.
You gave it a 3. Okay, so we're on the same.
Yeah.
So the last song of the album, titled Regrets.
Mm.
It's got an outro feel, definitely. The
Mm.
beat is, but the beat for me was a little lazy.
Yep.
I think, once again, like Alite said, this is one of the probably 4 songs that could have they could have just cut.
Yes.
And it wouldn't have hurt anything.
Yes.
Produced by a guy named Peter Paddock. I don't even know who that is. But for me, like I said, it definitely gave you an outro feel.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't substantial enough for the type of album this was.
Yeah.
I think they could have done something better in exiting the album. I think they could have even exited with the Evils.
For sure.
Right?
Sure,
Because
yeah.
that would have been a nice outro.
Would have been a great way to end it.
I give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, this is
Not a fan.
This kind of feels like his first attempt at like remember obviously everyone remembers the song Cry.
Yes.
So this kind of feels like the first attempt at an emotional song.
Yeah.
But he was.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
don't think he was a good enough songwriter at this time to
Yeah.
make a song like this. I don't think the song needs to be here. The song was again another one of those songs from the album. I think this last quarter of the album is what made me not fuck with the album collectively
Right.
over time.
Right. Because it starts off really strong and then it kind of tapers off.
Yeah. These just seemed like they were mishmash.
That makes sense. Yep.
Maybe they were egoed songs. Or
Yep.
I really like it. I want to put it on the album type songs.
Yep.
This is a 2.5 for me.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate that. I hate these random because Machiavelli had a couple of these songs too, right?
Yes,
I'm like,
definitely.
oh, the album's so great, but why did they put the
Yeah.
song on
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of takes away from the discretion of what makes it great. Like what
Agreed.
what makes the album be like a 5 CD or front to back, like we did
NWA's.
NWA's For Life
For Life
album.
album, yeah.
And it's an undeniable 5 CD
That's the
album,
thing. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's just too much good shit in it.
Right.
And these albums that have these filler songs,
Yeah.
it just takes away from the collective, what we would call like a masterpiece
100%.
project.
And that's why I'm still confused on why like real hip hop heads seem to feel that this is like a 5 mic.
Right.
Because it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not that level.
I think Black Album is closer to a 5 mic album than any of his albums.
I would say I would at any day of the week I
Yeah.
would give the Black Album a 5
Yeah.
without any problem.
And there's no,
And no
obviously
blueprint.
that'll be a great album to review, but
Yeah.
there's no slips on the album.
There's not.
This album, the tempo and pace is kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's Finest should have been the second song on the album. Those two
Agreed.
songs back to back would have been great.
I think it would have started it up a lot more better.
Yeah. And then Friend and Foe should have been higher up
Yeah.
instead of the 10th song.
Yeah.
I mean, but again,
Yeah.
we're judging his very first album. Very first album from dudes that weren't in the music industry. Dame Dash wasn't in the music industry. Kareem wasn't in the
No,
Big
they were
wasn't in the music
hustlers. They
industry.
were all street hustlers.
Jay wasn't. None of these guys were music artists.
Correct.
So the fact that they created this as their first project, they set the bar
Most
fucking
artists
high.
would die to have an album of this
Incredibly
reverence.
high bar set.
So,
as a whole,
closing statements.
oof.
Back then in '96, not so substantial to me.
Mhm.
Now it's, like I said, one of the top albums for hip hop for me of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can have a stronger debut than this.
Yeah, and
It's very impressive.
It's weird because we've talked about best debuts ever. We
Yeah.
mentioned Snoop Dogg's style. We mentioned
Yeah.
50 Cent.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
forget this.
We forget this.
This really is one of the best debut albums from a solo hip hop
True.
artist ever. And he also changed the game by being an older guy. Like
Yeah.
he was like 28.
He was almost
Right?
30.
He was almost 30
Yeah.
with his debut album, and it's one of his best
He
projects.
was late in the
ever,
game.
which is really interesting.
Because he was rapping a lot earlier. He was rapping like 88, 89.
Yeah, with Big Daddy Kane on tour and
But
stuff.
it was, nobody cared.
Yeah, Dame was an older dude.
Yeah,
Dames was an older
that's
dude.
right.
These guys were like men,
Right,
right? And they just knew their lane so
Right,
well.
right.
And to me, it's great because it set them on a path that really made them feel untouchable.
yeah.
Like they were like the thing.
Yeah, and they
man.
held it.
Oh yeah,
Like
they hung
did,
together.
you know what I
solid.
mean? The way they
Yeah.
did it. So
Very well done.
So what do you give the whole album in its totality out of 5 CDs?
I battled with this for a while because from jump I was like, all the good songs make it a 5.
And that's what I thought too.
But
before I've been listening to
But
it.
the sludge pieces that
Yeah.
bring the album down
Yeah.
make it hard for me to give it a 5. So overall, the album gets a 4.
I give it a 4 too. That's crazy. I give it a 4 too.
Makes sense.
Just because you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna rate this album and not fangirl over Jay-Z,
Absolutely.
you need to analyze the album in its entirety.
Yes.
And there is some misses on it.
Yes.
But still, saying that,
Mhm.
I mean, a 4 out of 5 for your debut album, that's pretty damn impressive.
Great album to the catalog.
Yeah.
When people talk about Jay-Z's greatest works of all time, this will always be in the discussion.
100%.
when people talk about greatest hip hop albums, this will always be in the discussion. But I think it's more because of people the look back, like, oh, we overlooked it. We overlooked it so much.
Yeah.
And again, there are phenomenal tracks on this. I think giving it a 4, both of us giving it a 4. Great score for Jay.
Great score.
Because, you know, only the highest standards on 90 Still Infinity.
That's right.
And now that we've talked about the album,
yeah,
there's so much other hip hop news.
There is.
But before we do any hip hop news, we gotta talk a little bit about the RIPs.
Okay.
Yeah. So 3 significant personalities from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, our upbringing passed away.
Correct.
Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Right.
Polarizing in life.
Definitely.
I can't say I really cared too much about 2 out of those 3. Ozzy was never really someone substantial in my life or upbringing.
I would definitely have to agree with that.
I think he was in a movie called Trick or Treat, a horror movie that I really liked when I was a kid.
Ozzy?
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. He came in like flashes.
I never, obviously, now, like later in life, I started listening to a lot more music outside of hip hop and R&B. You know, like I'm a big Oasis fan, you know that, and that alternative music and pop, even pop music. I'm not scared to say I like a lot of pop music. But I mean, I don't give a shit. Music is music. I think I had my blinders on before because you only can listen to hip hop and R&B back in we were really heavy. But now it's like anything goes. Obviously, it's still always going to be hip hop first.
Good. Yeah.
But I never really like messed with rock like that. Like AC/DC was probably.
Because Ozzy's more heavy metal.
Like, yeah, he's real. Yeah, I mean, he was one of the godfathers.
Like a Satanist.
Yeah, Black Sabbath, and he did a lot of stuff. So you can't.
Did you ever listen to Sabbath?
No.
Did you ever listen to Black Sabbath?
Yeah, quite a bit actually.
Nice.
I mean, they're one of the biggest metal.
The Iron Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only
right.
song of significance is that Iron Man song.
Yeah,
and that's amazing, obviously.
But I mean that's like like metal fans saying talking about Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Like they
Linkin Park mashup, bro.
Yeah,
it's the best. Yeah.
They wouldn't name more than one Jay-Z song.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If
Encore.
So it's not a fair comparison, but you can't say how impactful it was. My introduction to him was the Osbourne's TV show.
Ah,
my wife really liked and I thought he was really funny on it because he was just kind of like he was
the zombie.
Like he was actually a real person on reality TV, not what you see now.
He did a lot of drugs.
Like he just did whatever he did, and it was like
he did a lot of drugs.
He did a lot.
So the thing for me is
I'm surprised he survived that long.
The thing that tarnishes his legacy for me is that him and his wife were like really instrumental in preventing this documentary on Palestine from being released. Like they were like calling it anti-Semitic, and they have a lot of political clout, and they were able to
I didn't know that.
So like they're Zionists, very pro-Israel type peoples. And for me in this world right now, there's a lot of things that you don't have to take a side on.
Yep.
This is one of those things I feel like you have to take a side on, and if it's not on the side of Palestine, I can't really talk.
I get it. So I'm with that.
So Ozzy and Sharon get left in this, and then obviously Hulkamania.
Yeah,
Hulkamania, man.
Hulk Hogan. I mean, he was the. I mean, we're 80s babies, late. Well,
80s babies.
And Hulk Hogan. I mean, that was it for wrestling. I mean, we were huge wrestling fans. There was a video store called 24-hour Video Stop on Victoria Street across the Village. I think I broke the record of renting the most WWE videos in a month. I think I rented like 40, like Royal Rumble and stuff. Like I would that's when you had to rent them. You couldn't just fucking go on YouTube and watch it. But anyways, Hulk Hogan was the face of not just WWF at the time, but just of modernized popular wrestling, right?
And of celebrity culture.
Well, because then he kind of and people forget about that, but because I mean because of him, you can really say wrestling. You had Serial, you had the rock and roll cartoon wrestling. Like he really branched it, and it was because of his popularity, right? Yeah. Now the WWF obviously. They were the machine behind it, which I've said before.
Evil genius,
but he did. I mean, he was also good on the mic, and
man,
he played that. Eat your vitamins.
He was one of the worst.
Like, you would want to eat.
He was one of the worst physical wrestlers. He had the worst moves. He had punches. He had the fucking stupid big boot.
Yeah.
He had the leg drop. He didn't do anything, but his charisma was so much better than his game.
True.
He made himself undeniable.
Yeah.
And for me, it's fuck Hogan. I don't give a fuck what he did for me in my childhood.
Yeah.
Who he became, it's fuck Hulk Hogan.
Obviously because of his racial
terrible piece of shit person.
slurs that he's
terrible to a lot of the wrestlers.
Right.
Prevented a lot of wrestlers from making significant amounts of money.
Yeah.
Was a real detriment to the business when he left WWE.
Right.
And you have to acknowledge what he did as Hollywood Hogan, the whole NWO era, one of the most significant eras of wrestling. He pioneered two of them. He pioneered the super good guy, the eat your vitamins and all that other bullshit, and then he pioneered loving the bad guy.
It's true.
Right? You had to love him.
And he made other people popular around him. If you were associated with him, you'd just by association you'd become more
changed
popular.
Kevin Nash, Scott Hall's life.
It's true.
The whole Wolfpack thing was a game changer.
True.
It changed
his battles with Roddy Piper and Brutus the Beefcake. He made him more popular than he probably was.
Macho Man brought him to the forefront. And Warrior brought him to the forefront.
That's one of the things that we've struggled over, because where do you separate the person from the monster behavior?
Yeah.
Like Diddy, you can't deny the music that he's made, but you can't listen to it now, right?
Yeah,
it's hard. I can't, and I'm in R. Kelly. So it's the same thing. You can't deny the impact that Hulk Hogan made.
Yeah.
You got to respect what he brought to the table.
Yeah.
But there's unfortunately the other side where
you got to acknowledge the human, and you got to acknowledge that the human that was behind the greatness was a shitty person.
Yeah.
And when your own daughter doesn't want to go to your funeral, you fucked up in life.
It's true.
Right? That's not a good indicator of who you are as a person.
Right.
Right? And the whole racist outburst, and I would never want to come back as a black person, all this bullshit, man.
Yeah. It was pretty harsh.
You were hiding some demons and some feelings about people that negate your contributions. So
it's true.
It really sucks that it has to be that way.
Yeah.
And then we move on to someone that is, I would say, pretty instrumental in how we dictated ourselves as teenagers, and that's Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah. R.I.P. He was from the Cosby Show fame.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if you're not an '80s baby, I think a lot of people, like we have Shane and Almer, they're in their mid-30s, and they know the Cosby Show. So you don't have to be an '80s kid to know the Cosby, because it's really popularized, right? And especially with now the whole Cosby stuff, a lot of people went and revisited the show just because of the scandal, and they're like, "Oh, the show's actually really good." Yeah. He's just unfortunately an asshole, but he was. Malcolm Jamal Warner was a teenager on the show. He played one of the Bill Cosby's kids on the show, and he was the only boy in the family.
Yep.
But he was cool. But he wasn't over the top cool.
Yes.
Like you could relate to him.
Yes.
Right? Like we all wanted to buy that designer shirt. Right? We all wanted to stay out late. But he was a good kid.
Yes.
But he wasn't like perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what made him relatable.
Yeah.
Like he would fuck up on the show, but then he would be, he would understand what he did, and then there was always a message there, right?
Yeah.
Which you don't really see nowadays.
I think the lesson building they did in the Cosby Show was brilliant. Like when he screwed up and then they kicked him out of the house, and then he had to earn money in the house.
100%.
And earn his way back into a bedroom.
Yeah.
And then when he pierced his ear and Bill and him are doing the whole thing back and forth.
Remember when he was caught with the joint?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And his best friend Cockroach. I think.
And then they found out later that he had a
learning disability.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he overcame that.
Yes.
And then he showed like you could give back. He really gave in the show. He was giving back to kids.
When it became like a
volunteering,
teacher,
and then it kind of motivated you to be like, oh,
you can overcome whatever you're going through.
And he became so successful.
And it was cool because he showed you what it was like.
Yeah.
To be a well-adjusted black teenager.
Right.
Because there weren't other representations of that throughout TV, movies, culture. There wasn't that.
Well, other than the Jeffersons, this was the only other African American show at the time that actually had African Americans who were affluent.
Yeah,
like they 100%. Were doing well for themselves.
They were
from the ghetto. And, because we all laughed at that, but when you really look at it now, 70% of all those shows, they were all like living in the projects, good time,
all caricatures.
What's happening. Like there was always some kind of struggle.
Yeah.
Although it was funny, it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill Cosby, you got a doctor and a lawyer the kids go to amazing. They live in
In a pimpin'
in a
townhouse
Brooklyn
in-
brownstone,
Yeah.
and they're wearing. It was very different.
It was very different.
Right?
Very classy.
Yeah.
Playing jazz.
Right.
Having these sophisticated parties with
Yeah.
their people with all these cultural references.
Correct.
Cosby, and it's interesting because we can relate to those things.
Yeah.
In our own way because of how we grew up when our parents would have their friends over and they
100%.
listen to their kawalis and whatever it is.
Yep.
And we don't look at that as a sophisticated gathering of people,
Yeah.
but it's kind of the same. The difference is Bill Cosby's approach to TV is unlike anybody else.
True.
And he was instrumental in crafting the show and all the details of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when they would do those episodes where they would perform songs and every single family member would have a role in the song.
Definitely.
And no one else did that.
No.
And he would choose songs that were so obscure,
100%.
not obscure to people that listen to music, but obscure to pop culture. Like, I've
Correct.
never heard these artists.
He would bring a lot of jazz. There was a lot of jazz influence.
Stevie Wonder was on it.
Stevie Wonder. And that just is a testament to his educational background because he had a PhD and doctorate of education.
Yeah.
If you some of you remember Fat Albert, the cartoon from the 70s,
Yeah.
that was all based on like an educational kind of background.
Yeah.
So he always had a message
Yeah.
in everything. And he brought that to the Cosby Show because every episode had a message.
Always.
Right? There was always some type of a message.
Yes.
And it's great. And I think Malcolm Jamal Warner was one of the teenage, because I mean, who did we have in the 80s? We had
Silver
Mike
Spoons
Seaver
Kid.
from Growing Pains.
Yeah, we had the Silver Spoons Kid.
We had the Silver Spoons Kid.
We had Michael J. Fox from Family Ties.
Right. Totally forgot about him. And then later on we had Fresh Prince, Ray Carlton.
But Fresh Prince only exists because of Malcolm
That's
Jamal
true.
Warner.
That's true.
Doing Theo.
That's very true.
Right? And,
That's very
and
true.
for me, that was really cool to see because you could tell that, there was never a financial struggle in the Cosby household, but they had to deal with a lot of real life things.
100%.
And I think the way Malcolm Jamal Warner approached that was it basically set the stage for who he became because even with Malcolm and Eddie, his next sitcom,
Right.
with Eddie Griffin, was only really canceled was because they wanted Malcolm Jamal Warner to do these more kind of like buffoon type things.
Right.
And he wasn't fucking with it.
Right.
And because he wasn't messing with it, Eddie also wasn't messing with it. So they both had to battle with the studio for representation.
Right.
And Malcolm Jamal Warner was really steadfast in
Right.
that and not doing that.
Right.
And I think that carried him through his career because he never stopped acting. He was always in stuff.
that's true.
And
you'd always see him on some show, and it wasn't always necessarily a comedy.
Yeah.
He was on a lot of dramas and
serious
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I still feel like he was underrated, and I felt like I wish we saw him in movies because I think he would have done really well in movies.
He could have been really big.
And I'm surprised he didn't because he was more than capable. Right?
So he did a one-man show.
Yeah.
And then he went on to form a
wow.
band because he's a spoken word artist.
I didn't know that.
So as a spoken word artist, he does his spoken word over this jazz band.
Oh, okay.
And they're fairly successful. They just dropped an album before he passed.
Very cool.
So it's really unfortunate, and he passed from a drowning, which is really really sad.
Really sad. Yeah.
I lost my best friend the same way, and like water always terrifies me in that way.
Yeah.
Because you get caught in a riptide, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
Like we're not built that way.
Yeah.
So that's a real significant RIP.
And
for
only
me.
51.
Very young.
Young.
Very young, and
I mean,
just
5 years older than us.
yeah,
Realistic.
and that's crazy when you put it that way.
Yeah. Because at that time he felt so much older because we were in so much, but now it's nothing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like an older brother, older cousin type.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a really well put together man, well put together human. The way he communicated was really amazing. I don't know if you ever followed him on social media.
I didn't, but I after he passed, I saw some of his latter interviews because I didn't really follow him after that because I didn't the shows that I watched.
Yeah,
he just
you
wasn't
weren't
part of it.
watching. Yeah,
But I mean, still, the guy was well spoken, always polite.
yeah.
And he was one of those guys who was just he seemed like, although he was in the industry, he was a decent guy.
Yes.
Like he wasn't Hollywood
A good
in
human
that sense,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it seems to be what everyone says about him as well.
Yeah, like I haven't heard
nothing but
anything
love from
negative.
across the planet
Yeah,
from
yeah,
him, other
yeah.
companies he's worked with.
Yeah.
Bill
So
Cosby
that's a big RIP.
came out and said that
Totally
it's like losing another son for
Right.
me.
Even Rudy, who played
Keisha
William,
yeah.
Holy Knight. Even she said like he was like a real deal older brother to her in real life. So
that one
that's
sucks.
Nice. Yeah.
And Trump is still alive. Can this motherfucker die already?
Unfortunately.
One other thing I gotta shout out South Park. Round of applause for South Park. And the absolute relentless gut punches that they are giving Trump in this administration.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it. I used to watch South Park back in the days. I haven't seen it recently.
Masterful trolling.
It's good, yeah.
Masterful
You've
trolling.
watched it?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah.
As Trump would say, it's very good. Very, very good. They're doing a great job. South Park's doing a fucking terrific job. What other news you got?
I got some news. Yeah, some quick news. So BET, the Urban Network, have recently announced that they're suspending the BET Hip Hop Awards.
And the other one.
The Soul Train Awards.
Yes.
I think for us, it's more BET Hip Hop Awards are more significant. But at one time, the Soul Train Awards were very significant because we didn't have the BET Awards nor the Hip Hop Awards.
I'm sitting here laughing. Like, who watches the award shows?
And you know what? that's kind of what it is.
Well,
I don't think they're not.
Okay,
I don't think-
have you seen any
so
of them for the past couple years?
Okay, so the BET Awards which is a general award show, hip hop, or that started
Movies,
in the
all
year
that stuff.
2000, and that continues to now. That hasn't been canceled.
Yeah.
And
It's a lot of fun.
I especially in the early years.
Yeah.
Maybe when Michael Jackson passed, that I don't know if you ever saw that award
Yeah.
show, because it literally happened like a week before,
Yeah.
and they put this amazing show together, and there was so many iconic moments, like the Fugees reunited on the BET
Right.
Awards. Like there's a lot of moments if you love hip hop or R&B or music,
They're a staple.
you can appreciate it. Now
Yeah.
the hip hop, BET brought the hip hop. Because hip hop was just such a big genre that they decided to give them their own award show. It started in 2006. That's the year, I don't know if you remember, where Jay-Z was in the crowd and Game was performing and Jim Jones. That was that whole year, right? That's the only time he
Right.
came on because that was the inaugural year, so everybody kind of
Jim
showed
Jones.
up. But
Jim Jones is making 20 appearances on this podcast.
Jones, he's still out there, man.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, I mean, I love the BET hip hop. I like a good award show. I really do.
Because they had the ciphers.
Yeah, ciphers.
Correct.
And the ciphers.
I totally forgot about
The
that.
ciphers were so
That's
incredibly impactful.
I mean, the Eminem one with
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse, the Nicki Minaj,
Kendrick
Joe Budden,
Lamar
the Kendrick,
one.
I mean,
The
iconic moments,
most
right?
deaf Black Thought one,
Yeah.
and the thing is, like, the last couple of them, they, a lot of these new rappers don't
Yeah.
know how to do ciphers, they don't know how to rap.
Nope.
So some of the more current ones are a little bit whack.
Yeah.
But they set the precedent so high
Yes.
for what it's supposed to be dope. The thing is, for me, I've always watched and enjoyed the Soul Train Awards. I love R&B music. They bring on the best of the R&B singers, and
They do.
and you don't see R&B anywhere else.
That's true.
And R&B is an
You
extremely
see a little bit on the BET Awards, but it's
a very
it's a small portion.
underrepresented genre of music.
Agreed.
Doesn't have a big place in the Grammys. Doesn't have a big place in the American Music Awards.
Nope.
Really, no other representation.
That's very true.
And right now, R&B, personally, I would say as one of its best places as far as the music that's being created, because there are incredible R&B music
I would have to agree.
artists from all over the place doing great stuff, and they're missing out because these artists are selling huge numbers. They're
The
touring.
R&B roster for the last 4 or 5 years, the new roster is unbelievable.
Big.
Like it puts hip hop to shame.
Yeah, and women are
The
leading the
artists.
charge.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
female R&B artists
Yeah.
are killing it.
Yeah.
So I think they're missing out by dropping the Soul Train. I know they're suspending it.
So yeah, initially everybody thought they canceled it.
Yeah.
And then when I did some more research, they've actually said they've suspended it.
Yes.
But that's I think that's just a nice way of saying we've canceled it, but we don't want the backlash, so we'll just say we've suspended it, and quietly we'll just never bring it back.
Well, I think what
It's
they're
a
gonna
nice.
do-
It's a nice because if this was a Caucasian award channel, no offense, it would have just been canceled. But because it's a black award
entertainment
show,
television.
you know you're gonna get a lot of more blowback
Yeah.
because people are gonna be like, "What?
It's one of the only things we have."
African American,
Yeah.
and you guys have 7. You guys have the Emmys, the SAG, this award, and so you know."
Yeah, there'll be some backlash.
So one of the biggest reasons why it has been suspended is, if you don't know, initially when BET first started back in the early 80s, it was a 100% black-owned company.
Yes.
About 3 years ago, the huge machine MTV
Viacom.
/ Viacom, because they've merged, and Paramount now, so
Yeah.
it's even a bigger machine.
Yeah.
They actually bought BET in its whole.
Yes.
So they own 100% of it, and that's why if you watch VH1 or MTV, you'll see the BET Awards or whatever award.
Yeah.
You'll see it simulcast on that.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
Yes.
Because they just, I mean, that's what big companies do. They want to own everything.
Well, I think what's gonna happen
Because
is
that's just good business.
they're gonna
right?
reintroduce the award shows, but they're gonna reintroduce it to BET Plus, and make it part of the premium model because they have BET Plus.
Yeah.
That's where Miss Pat's show streams.
Right.
And that's a subscription model. I think it's $9.95 a month.
So that's kind
This-
of like a what, HBO Max kind of
Yeah,
situation?
yeah, but specific to BET.
Paramount
So
Plus.
I think they'll put the award show there, which makes sense.
Well-
I get it. Financially, it makes sense.
I haven't seen the Soul Train Awards in a very long time, I'll have to admit.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, just have it. But the BET Hip Hop Awards, I watched it up until maybe 6 little post COVID, and it just gradually got worse and worse because the talent is just really bad, and the hosting, I don't know, it's, the whole show is just really a shitty a skeleton version of what it was.
But the past couple of years,
but I think all award shows are kind of like that now.
I think what's
They're not
happening
that good.
for the BT Hip Hop Awards for the past couple of years, it's been legend driven. Because it was the 50th year of hip hop.
That's true. Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
They've been changing the approach and bringing back the icons.
That's true. I forgot about that. I think last year, right?
Yeah,
For where they brought a lot of throwbacks.
Yeah,
which I love.
Which is great because they're celebrating the.
But
art,
how much can you do with that?
Exactly.
Right.
That's
You only
problem.
can do that 1 or 2 times, and then what?
Well, we've
old,
lost a
right?
lot of legends.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But I mean, if you look at like the Oscars, who's watching the Oscars?
No,
it's nobody. But at one time, a lot of people were watching the Oscars when guys like. When people like Billy Crystal was hosting, it was like it would be fun. Forget about the awards, just the hosting part you'd want to watch. So now, not so much.
The numbers now for the Oscars, the Grammys,
everything's
the
down.
Emmys. Now with those numbers are now translating into those viral clips
right.
that blow up on TikTok and Instagram, and they're feeding that content.
Right.
So I think the model that we're used to, that's television based, the 6 fucking hour event. With commercials and stuff, that model is going to vanish.
Another thing too, right?
That model is going to vanish, and it's going to be more the events are still going to go on as is.
Yeah.
But the presentation is going to be fed to the public through these social media feeds in these 30, 60, 90 clips.
That's so
you
true.
kind of get the best of your people. What are you going to say?
I think they just need Will Smith to slap more people. I'd watch
You know what?
all the time.
I mean, I don't think we could have said it better ourselves. I mean, if you had him at every award show do something crazy. I mean, and what you would do is you tell Will, this is the best part. You say you can't do it until the end, so you have to watch the whole thing, or you just say you're going to do it sporadically. So you don't know when he's going to. So you have to. You have no choice. But ratings would be through the roof.
I pulled the pin out the grenade, and then I threw it. Yeah.
I chewed on it, and then I chewed it or something. What did he say, right?
Bit off more than I could chew, and then I chewed it.
Chewed it!
As opposed to not chewing.
Will chewed it. I don't know what the fuck that means, but let's hope and pray that we never see Will Smith slap anybody ever again.
And or rap again.
Especially...
that, I don't know what... Did you see him in the middle of London?
Yeah.
And everybody's looking at him like, who the fuck
Everyone's
is
got
this
their phones
guy?
up, that's it.
Like that was just like, Will, come on, you're such a talented guy. I mean, we've had our own little group chats on the whole Will thing.
Oh, a lot of
but
us
I mean,
talk.
yeah, you know what? The thing is, I think this new generation, God, this is the dumbest generation. I would disagree with that. I think they're actually done a lot of great things this generation. And one of the things is they see through these award shows because people now are even saying who are part of these award shows are saying it's a farce. Half of these winners are notified prior. Like if you have enough, like when I heard that the Golden Globes is basically perpetuated by the fact that studios have to push the product onto the voting committee. Why would you have to push? I mean, take them out to dinner. Like the studio
grease the palm.
If a product is good, shouldn't it win on its own?
A little bit of payola.
Accord?
Dude, I've seen.
So
I've seen
it loses its value right there.
I've
right?
seen Oscar judges.
Right.
Say I didn't watch all the movies in the category
I
that
have
I
to.
How
I
do you
have to.
judge it? I've talked to judo judges. Like I can't listen to all the music that they send me.
But yet you're in charge of.
You're the judge.
Actually picking one of the best, and you've listened to 2 out of 5.
This is why J. Cole never submitted his music to the Grammys. Never did.
I don't blame him.
And same.
It's bullshit.
I'm never gonna submit my music to these places. I think it's not.
And then if you look at some of the winners for all of these different type of award shows, and you like Effervescence over 50 Cent in their debut year, and then and then some of the acting awards, you're like, what? Like,
don't get me wrong.
Like Chocolat won Best Picture.
But don't get me wrong.
1 year.
If I did win an Oscar.
When did we start? The foreign film has its own category, but yet we're going to give a foreign film the best picture for a regular. Like what? Then why have the foreign film category? And now the best picture in the Oscars has gone from 5 to 10 movies. It used to be 5, now it's 10. So everybody gets a participation.
Representation.
So now we're going to have 20 movies next time, right? And then now we're going to throw Marvel movies in there. I mean, come on.
Okay, wait.
No offense.
Marvel movies, they do some good acting.
Yeah, but Oscar? Are you going to give a Marvel movie an Oscar?
Maybe not.
No, you're not. No,
I would give Rocky the Raccoon should get an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. That shit he did in Guardians 3.
See, That what you said sounds asinine, but that's what's happening now. That's kind of where we're going now.
Okay.
Everybody's getting an
But
award.
don't get it
You
confused.
get an award. You get an Oscar. You get an Oscar.
But don't get it
Shag is
confused.
Oscar.
When I get my Oscar, I'm gonna be genuinely thankful.
No,
And I'm
but,
gonna thank the committee, and then I'll do my title.
but see, your product will be backing. You'll be involved in it. So you're not going to make a Marvel movie and win an Oscar for that. No
You're not
offense.
gonna put me in a
And if
Marvel
we're
movie.
going to give a
I could be
movie,
Nick
if we're
Fury.
going to give a superhero, then it's like The Dark Knight. Like then that's worth it, right?
Yes, Christopher
Right, like,
Nolan deserves the Oscar.
it's the movie over the subject
for Best
matter
Director.
first,
Yeah.
right? But I just feel like everything's so watered down. So, anyways, we could talk about this all day. But anyway, so yeah, they suspended it. I don't see it coming back. Do you see it coming back?
I do see it coming back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I feel like
let's
there's
wait and
enough
see.
artists that are involved in with BET that propel the BET for them to make something available to those artists.
I mean, I see what you're saying, and it would be smart to have some of this exclusive content on paying street services.
Yes.
But at the same time, if nobody's watching it now, why would I pay $10 to watch it next year?
I think if you're already subscribed
What I
to it,
mean?
it'll be a bonus.
If it's shitty now, it's shitty. It's gonna be shitty next year, and now you want me to pay $10 on top of that? Like, I don't think it's a you know.
I
What I
think
mean?
they're gonna have to lower their subscription price, but they've got a pretty decent subscriber base in the U.S.
Well, you know what? Maybe
People are watching.
maybe they're gonna win on this.
People are watching.
Okay, two more topics. So this is kind of a one that I just came up with, but I saw a kind of a trend. So in the past year, the past 2 years, there's two hip hop artists, and there might be more, but this is more kind of substantial ones, who have released hip hop videos of their singles 20 plus years after the song got released. So I wanted your thoughts on it. So the first one was Juvenile. His second album, 400 Degrees, which basically was a classic and kind of
monster,
right, put him in everybody's radar.
Yeah, change the
It had Ha, Back That Ass Up. So there was a title track called 400 Degrees, and you remember that song, right?
Yeah.
He released a video for that in 2023. And people were like...
And like made in 2023?
Yeah, made in 2020. So the song got released in 1999.
Damn.
But they just said, hey, we should make a music video for this
That's
song.
interesting.
And people fucked with it because they're like, oh, wow, this song is dope. Because if you don't know any better,
It's a
you
new
think
song.
it's a brand new song,
For
right?
sure, for sure.
And Do or Die just recently, Do or Die, Pope and Fame,
Much love.
they just released a song called Do You, which was from their 2003 album. And people are talking about it all over, like, hip-hop and R&B, so like, whoa, the song is so dope. And some people don't even realize that it's an old song. So I guess what I'm saying is that something that's kind of a fun thing to do? Or is it just trying to reinvent themselves again?
I love
bring
it.
Back?
I love it. I think
Like
it's
you
great.
as an artist, would you do that?
For sure.
Like you've released 2 albums, right?
One group album, one solo album.
So
Yeah.
so how old is your first album?
2007.
Okay, so if you released a music video for one of your singles now, would you even
For
think of
sure.
doing
I
that?
think that's a great idea. I think
How would you benefit from it?
so. I think making videos now is so much more accessible to artists.
That's true.
So I think when artists meet other artists and, oh, I'm a filmmaker, I do these things, I'd love to make a music video, and the artist's like, oh, dope, well, I have these songs that I never made a video for, we should do a video. I think it's dope. I'd love to see artists make more videos from stuff that they never did
So
back
you like
in the
the
day.
idea of it?
I love it. I think it's great. I think if
I
you're
think
a
so
creative,
too, yeah.
if you're a creative person, you have creative intentions, and you want to, keep your music alive, it's a great way to do it.
And I think if you were raised and in that music video genre era, because at one time, I mean, music videos, that's what
The fact that we knew the names of the directors for music videos says a lot.
If you liked the song, you wanted to see the music video.
Yes.
You couldn't wait until it came out, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I found that's kind of an interesting trend. And then the last thing is, I saw this, so shout out to Complex for this. So they named some of their top sophomore hip hop album fails. So I extracted a couple that we could relate to, and I wanted to see what your opinion on them was. So the first one is The Dogfather by Snoop Doggy Dogg at the time. That was his second album and his final album on Death Row Records.
Damn.
And it was horrible.
It was really bad.
His first single was Snoop Upside Your Head.
Right.
If you remember that.
Right.
Which isn't a horrible song, but I mean, it wasn't. And you got to realize too, this was minus Dr. Dre.
Yes.
Because he had left now. So the production was primarily Daz and Superfly and Battle Cat.
Yeah.
But I mean, from going from selling 5 million albums and that album being sold to an album that it sold a little over 1 million albums and nobody gave a shit about it.
There's only
Would
one
you
song.
agree that it was one of the top?
Horrible fall off.
Yeah.
Only one song that I liked on that album was one of the beats was they took the Godfather beat.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they flipped it.
Yeah.
I think it's the only good song on the album that.
Yeah, I know what it is. I like the song called Gold Rush. It had that western kind of a theme in it. It was really good, yeah. Okay, so then Wu-Tang Forever. That's kind of controversial one. But when you really think about it, it's not totally crazy because Wu-Tang Forever, it was a double album. And it wasn't that great.
So
when you think about it, it's like in 2 hours. Like if
that's the album with Triumph.
Correct.
And Gravel Pit.
And no, Gravel Pit was the third album. So this one had It's Yours. Remember, It's Yours.
Right.
Winter Wars.
Right.
So so you can't even name 5 songs from the album.
Yeah.
So how good was it compared to Enter the 36 Chambers?
Yeah, that's
so I would actually have. I knew a lot of people. They're like, "What are you talking about? Wu-Tang? No, that's great." No. But think about it for a second.
Dramatic drop.
It was two albums. It wasn't even one album. So now you've kind of prone to having. I mean, other than All Eyes on Me and Life After Death. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of double albums where you can say they're solid because there's a lot of fillers.
And this was a trend of double albums.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would honestly be a Wu-Tang fan, but I would have to agree with it.
Yeah.
It was not Enter the 36 Chamber by any means.
Yeah.
Triumph was amazing.
I think the Dogfather drop off is worse.
Are you sure about
that? Because Dogfather had no good songs.
Okay.
When
you're going song versus song, 100%.
Like Triumph is one of Wu's best.
It's Yours is dope.
Yeah, It's Yours is really good too. Yeah.
So you're right. They actually even had a song called Cream Part 2 on it. It had a kind of cool sample. But yeah. So anyway, so that's one of them. It was written by Nas. Follow up to Illmatic. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it was a solid album.
It was a good album. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that's on the list. I mean, sure, if you're comparing it to Illmatic, anything's a drop off. Illmatic's close to perfect.
I think people didn't like Timbaland's influence on that album.
I think there was a lot of backlash to Nas trying to get a pop or like.
And that's what he's trying to do. But I mean, in saying that, like a lot of people give Dr. Knockboot shit, but it's a dope song.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Illmatic, and people just wanted another Illmatic.
Yeah, like even when Nas came out with that song with the genuine hook, shorty.
Oh yeah.
Say what you like. People, like hip hop heads were hating on him.
Yeah.
Magazines were hating on it, but the song was a massive hit.
Alite was on this album. It was written because Timbaland was a huge influence on this album. He produced like 4 or 5 songs.
I'm gonna go back and check.
Yeah, it's a solid album, but that one I don't agree with. And then there's 3 more. So Double Up, Mace's follow-up album to Harlem World. I only know 1 song from Double Up. No. I know 3 songs from Double Up.
I mean, both albums are kind of whack to me.
Harlem World had some hits on it.
Yeah, sure.
I
never liked the album.
I liked a couple songs on Double Up. They did a Welcome Back Kotter remake.
Isn't that song?
Welcome Back Kotter, you know the theme song? They used that. My parents used to watch Welcome Back Kotter.
Yeah,
so they had a song called Welcome Back. That was pretty good.
Is that Why You Over There Looking At Me?
No, that's from the first album.
That's from Harlem World?
Yeah. While my girl standing there. That's produced by the Neptunes, you know that, eh?
That song I liked.
Yeah, I do too.
That's interesting.
You didn't like the song with Total? That was pretty fire.
What song was it?
What was under the medium?
What You Want. Tell me what you want.
Oh, right. That's a massive song.
Yeah.
That was a good.
Feel So Good wasn't. That was a typical Puff song.
Typical Puff.
Yeah. But the second album had a couple. He did a remake of Lines Love Bonita from Madonna, which wasn't bad. It was a pretty good sample. And then he had the song Get Ready with that Black Suit. I don't know if you remember.
No.
So I would say.
Sorry, Murder.
I mean, I had the Harlem World album. I didn't have the Double Up album. But yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think the songs were not as strong as Harlem World. 2 more. Raekwon's follow-up album to
Incarcerated.
Oh my god, how could I forget? What was his...
The Chef.
What was his debut? How did I forget his debut?
Incarcerated Scarface.
No, that was a song.
Oh, that. Oh my god.
Only Built for Cuban Links.
Yes.
So the second album is Immobilarity.
Oh,
which is taken
right.
from Godfather 3.
Right.
I don't know if you remember.
Right.
That was the company that that Michael Corleone started through the Vatican. It's called Immobiliare. Yeah. Anyways, I don't even remember the second album.
I don't either.
So we'll just agree on that status right there. And that's crazy because we're talking about Ray.
Yeah.
Like one of the top
I don't remember if if RZA produced anything
I don't
on
know either.
Immobiliare.
Yeah, I don't even know. I have to.
We gotta go back and look at that. Yeah.
And then the final one, which I definitely agree with, was Puffy's Diddy's follow-up album to
No Way Out.
No Way Out. Thank you. Which originally, I don't know if you know. Do you know the original title for that song? It was Hell Up in Harlem.
Huh.
Initially.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And anyway, that's a movie too. That's a black exploitation movie. From
Huh.
the 70s. And he's from Harlem. But anyways, so his first album was massive, 6 million, 7 million out the gate. Every song was good on that album,
Monster
whether you like
hits.
him or not. That first album, every song
Straight hits.
hit,
Straight
right?
hits. Yeah.
The second album was titled Forever. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
It had like a silver cover. And it was all in silver.
Oh,
and
maybe.
And it had
Yeah.
a couple songs, but nobody like I used to listen to like 1 or 2 songs. They're all right, but it wasn't that. So I totally agree with that.
That's an interesting list.
Yeah.
Yeah, because hip hop had a big thing about sophomore jinx from people's big solo
Right,
albums. So
right.
that's an interesting list from
Right.
Complex. And honestly, Complex, normally your list is ass, but that's a decent list.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
That's dope. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you do the subscribe thing.
Yes.
Where it's _high phrase on Instagram, high phrase on YouTube, it's _high phrase on Facebook. You can follow me. It's _ALITE. That's It's Elite on TikTok,
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram, social. Wherever you get social media, it's the same on all of them. This is Rich, the HC. He doesn't give a fuck about social media, so you
I
can't
don't.
find him anywhere.
Nope.
But here, shout out to everybody in the room. We got Amir, we got Shane, we got
Yep.
Alfred, who's I don't know what he's doing, but
Yep.
he's there. Make sure you tune in, you guys subscribe. We appreciate you guys tuning in, y'all.
Peace.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's.
That's such a fake clap. Didn't find it genuine.
Oh.
Amir is